Nice. Hey, welcome everybody. This is Courage and Chaos. Thanks for coming, everyone. We have an entirely new player. If they're new to Dungeons and Dragons and learning how to play, I take it a step at a time. But these players are getting quite advanced. This is episode 11, but they've never played D&D before now. We've already done a little bit of introduction, but you're coming in at a good time. Just keep in mind that the slides that you see, you can go onto patreon.com and find out more videos where I do more commentary. And these slides also, you can get materials to learn how to do this yourself. And if you're ever in Brisbane, Australia, I'll be putting on another show pretty soon. So that's where all these people started. So it's great to have you here. Also, a big shout out to Shoot for Initiative, which is on the same Twitch stream that you're seeing this show, if you're seeing it on Twitch and on YouTube. So Spool does a nice D&D show, which is sort of like a game show review. So check that out. Okay, to continue with the Shrine of Evil Chaos. So yeah, you see these people are obviously working there. So you, heroes that you are, you decided just to rock up and talk to them. Like maybe the most direct thing. You're in pretty high numbers. You feel pretty powerful, certainly more powerful than these losers. If things go bad, you feel like you'd run away, So I would just propose, to get up to that scene that I painted in medias res. You just decide, let's just go in and find out what's happening, since obviously bedraggled adventurers are just showing up. And once you're there, you might get a closer look and figure out what to do. The good thing is, those big Shriners that were knew who you were, none of those are around. There's no sort of strong people around here, so you don't feel like you'll.
These guys are chumps.
They're chumps. Even if they recognize you, you feel like you can at least run away. There's so many of them, you don't want to start killing them. That would be a bloodbath. Okay. As you get closer, you see more detail, and I'll refer to this wiki page that I've got here. This is something else that I eventually will share. If you ever want to reproduce my campaign entirely, you can actually start doing this yourself, but let me sort of take a look at this here. Okay, it's squalid here. It's like dorm-like conditions, like imagine a backpacker hostel that nobody's ever cleaned up. So lots of bunks and cubby holes with junk everywhere.
Still on the terrace?
It's on the terrace, yeah. So you're kind of open air. It's kind of like cut into the side with this iron door, but you're still under the sky. There's an overhang enough that the bunks probably don't get rained on at least half the time, depending which way the rain is blowing. But it's moldy, it's dirty. You see again that shield of arms with the devil's horn and the SOEC. You see closer now that prominent up around the entire edge, secured against the rain, are paintings of a particular figure, and you figure this must be Ziggy, the leader of the Shrine of Evil Chaos. It's all the same guy. You can sort of tell by his physique. He's a half-elf. But he looks quite different. So the room here that you're looking at is kind of divided into two groups of people that you can see are sort of differentiated. On one side, sort of on the more southish end, you see people that you would just guess are kind of affiliated with the Red faction or fancy themselves cool like the Red faction. They're wearing red and black. They're all he's. They're all male expressive. They're all kind of muscly and rude to each other and just kind of dominant and just basically like a frat house kind of atmosphere. And you often see them kind of sparring with each other, getting into fist fights sometimes, or you're doing weapon play with each other. So let's call them that sort of the red half. And I'm also going to call them the idiots because everybody here acts like idiots. The other half, they're high as kites or they're cranky. The reds are just kind of just full of piss basically. They're near an iron door, and that iron door goes obviously deeper into the Shrine of Evil Chaos. Sort of catty corner, I'll sort of draw it this way. So this is the iron door. Over on this wall, the terrace sort of cut roughly into a room shape, there is a red mirror fragment. It's kind of sunken into the wall. It's kind of glued flat to the wall in a way. On the rock around it looks kind of funny looking, almost like it's melted into the wall. And you can sort of tell, you realize from your own mirror fragments when you were the Chain Devil, this would, if somebody's looking through it, they'd be able to see sort of like a narrow cone of activity, including the door itself. It's almost like a video doorknob, a video doorbell of some sort. So that catches your eye. It's okay, this must be maybe the red section. The reds are hanging out here, and this is definitely a red mirror thing. So that's interesting. Okay, that's what you want to get through. But you can just tell by the body language that if you take any steps close to it, the red guys all sort of gather around like you're not allowed that way. So this is why I concluded, let's try to talk our way through. So that's on one side. And the paintings of Ziggy over on this side, Ziggy is in a real heavy metal mode. He's wearing tight leather clothes, he's got big shoulder pads with spikes, he's got spiky hair, he's got kind of goth makeup, he's got a massive guitar, he looks like he's doing a power chord, he's up on the stage with these massive boots. So those paintings are very staged things. On the other half of the room, and there's not a wall, these people are kind of melded into each other, and they seem to be staying away from each other, really kind of resentful of each other. You see them like really sort of being catty towards each other and sort of criticizing each other and sort of teasing each other, are a bunch of people that you think are associated with the Silvers, because they wear quite a bit of silver jewelry. Some of them have lightly burned rectangles over their eyes, and they are either fucking high or they are really cranky because they're in withdrawal from being high. They are he's, she's, and theys of every type, every single race, and every single color, and also every single kind of costume. They're wearing crazy like stage costumes. They're all kind of like more thrift store costumes, nothing really extravagant, but they're trying to be very artsy and expressive, and they're all wearing just different things, all different styles, kind of flamboyantly. The pictures of Ziggy over that half of the room that they've sort of put up and look up at adoringly once in a while is the same guy Ziggy, but this time he's got sort of different kinds of makeup. He's wearing much more sort of like artsy clothes, sort of like more costume-like clothes, some are quite exotic and really interesting. And he's taking sort of like sexier poses, looks kind of soulful, or just kind of just alien, just strange looking, with different kinds of face makeup and hair color and clothes and things like that. So that's Ziggy and that guy's. You can't really see what the rest of the back wall seems to be a stage of some sort with a big back curtain hanging against the rock and a slightly elevated stage, not very high. On that stage is a peculiar person, let's just say. She is herself elven, or a half-elf. She is elven. She's a golden-skinned high elf, so she must be a sun elf, you would conclude, Del. She has black, wild, curly hair, but most usually she's wearing a tuxedo. The tuxedo is backwards. Like, her face, when you see her face, you see the back of the tuxedo, and every once in a while she turns around, just sort of like moving her arms and legs a particular way, and I can see the front of the tuxedo, but just the back of her hair. And she's spouting off some sort of verse or trying lines, and all the other Silvers, let's just call them, these silver idiots, are taking notes, they're shouting out directions, shouting out suggestions, they're writing things on scripts. They seem to be really intent on some sort of stage show. Every once in a while a different one comes up and they do a scene. You're not sure if it's improvised or really badly written or if they're just making it up, but they seem to be kind of feverishly working on some sort of stage production. And if you ever move close to them, like, shh, bad time. They don't want to talk to you. The Reds, they want to talk to you like, hey bro, here to work, so they're kind of more, they're tough, but they're sort of engaging. The Silvers aren't really talking to you right now. So that's what you see about this area. And this is why you're confident, like, oh, we know a bit about the Silvers, we know a bit about the Reds, maybe we can figure out how to talk our way through this. Anything else here? No. Okay. Didn't miss anything. These are all things that later on you can check out what they're doing. So all of them, you can see closer, what are they picking at? There are these rock cylinders. They're sort of like the size and shape of Coke cans or Pringles cans. Cylindrical, sort of chipped away, they're all rough on all sides, and they're in various states of sort of decay. Some of them are actually just like fist-sized rocks, and some are cylinders or everything in between, and they have like little chisels and hammers, or they have pinchers, or little drills and things, but every single person here is like being really like nervous. Like every time that they sort of like tap with the hammer, you just see their whole body sort of tense for a second, they look around, and they like pry with the tweezers, and like when a big flake of rock cracks off, they're like, they sort of wait for a second, and then they kind of relax again. That's when you notice that this place is not just messy, it's bloody. Like there's splatters of blood, some old, some fresh, everywhere in this place. And you see strange like claw-like footprints in the blood, and then sort of like just the mess. You see like bits of like viscera and bone here. You realize that outside when you came, you didn't think much of it, but there are these sort of like smeared sort of things. You think like, it looks like bodies have been bloody bodies been dragged out of this cave and dragged up the hill, up to the charred forest to be disposed of. So look, this is a place where there's been a lot of mayhem, and you just get the sense of the blood spatters, like the footprints, like it's not necessarily them killing each other. Something bad happens here on a pretty regular basis. You just tell from the tension that they're all under, sort of the misery and the blood everywhere.
Are these rocks like Chaos Shard ore?
Yeah, you haven't seen Chaos Shard ore directly so far. Haven't you sort of seen Chaos Shard ore? But let's say you speculate that. And all I would say is like, well, from what you know about it, it does look like it was maybe, like carved out of an underground mine. It would be consistent. Can't guarantee it. You do notice, since you mentioned like, sometimes you see the end of one end of the cylinder always has a sort of coin-sized spot that's rainbow striped. It's like a regular-sized rock, but it seems like part of the rock, like a core inside the rock, is sort of like weird rainbows, sort of like a gasoline on water kind of look, but still solid. But these are all things that more investigation can reveal. and maybe as you talk to them, you might discover more. So they're picking away at these cylinders themselves with some desperation.
Does it look like the cylinders? Does it look like it will blown up here?
It doesn't look like explosive things. It looks more like, so like artery spurts, kind of like somebody's been clawed or torn, like the blood spatters are more like claws or weapons or something, or bites have been taken out of people. And then it's like some people have like a few fingers missing, some people like a horrible sort of scar on their neck, like big teeth marks on the side of their neck that's healed over, something that would have been a very dangerous bite, but they somehow survived. Okay. All right. So let's say, your plan is, okay, let's get through that iron door. Red mirror shardman can figure out what that's about. But the full-on fight with this entire room, would clearly be a bloodbath on both sides. They don't look very dangerous, but unless you're really pretty evil, it's difficult to just sort of victimize all these people. They might be working for a bad organization, but they're not attacking you. They're definitely stopping you from going through the iron door. You can tell that they don't want to do that. But I would say you probably justify not attacking them. I mean, tell me if there's a consensus otherwise. But that's the way I sense this party decides things. But you see that these red idiots, they're doing shitty work they don't like very much. They're sort of complaining about the work conditions. They're complaining about their boss. Some even say bad things about Ziggy once in a while, and they look around guiltily, when you hear the word Ziggy mentioned, sometimes disparagingly, talking shit about their bosses. So you think you have an opportunity to peel them away. What if you convince them, like, dudes, stop doing this. Just let us through. We're in charge. We're going to change the world here. The change is coming. Get out of the way while you can. Or, hey, we're Reds. Yeah, we're like you. We're your new bosses. Or something like that. Maybe through lies or persuasion or intimidation, you might be able to just say, just don't oppose us. Because any one of you could kill any one of them, and they're not sure which one it would be. So you figure that you can talk your way past, and that brings us to where we start in medias res. You start talking with the red idiots, which brings us to the next chapter, which is an RP battle. So last time we did this was with the kobolds. Now the stakes are a little higher, but you've also got more practice. You're now level 2 and 3, so you've got more things to apply. Remember that what you always want to do is usually it's a skill that you're good at. Yeah. So usually it's almost always going to be a roll with a skill. Usually not a weapon attack, though. If you are a fighter and not a talker, there's always a way to participate physically. But this largely rewards soft skills. Yeah, good. You did the slide. Thank you. Role-playing battle. You have opportunity to do things like use spell slots to get advantages on your rolls. If you have items that you're willing to sacrifice, you can get advantages on your rolls. So it's a bit like quick combat in that, so if you're willing to do that. But remember, you're at the beginning of a long day, and you don't know when your next long rest is. You're going to want to balance that out. Are you willing to, how badly do you want to win this battle? Do you want to spend spells to do it? So you're trying to get past this red faction, the SOEC, without a bloodbath. So this is a way to resolve conflict in D&D. This is a homebrew system, but it draws from a lot of traditions that I've learned over the years. So if your PC is built really around personality, and sort of interesting backstory and interesting skills, this is a great place to shine. But again, you also, if you're more physical type, you have a chance to do that. But yeah, soft skills, here we go. This is about convincing these idiots here in the south end of the room, these red idiots, to not oppose you as you try to get through the door. So you want to at least get close enough to the door to figure out how to get through. And hopefully get through without whoever's on the other side knowing that you're coming, because they seem to be very fighty in this part of the world. There's one particular red idiot who seems a little bit more alpha and well-built than the others. You learn his name is Balasar, and he doesn't like you. He is hanging out in the corner with a guitar. He's like playing with an electric guitar, unamplified, but sort of like a steel string guitar rather. And he's sort of scowling at you. And a lot of the Reds seem to be deferring to his opinion. His opinion is that you should get the fuck out of here, and definitely they should keep doing their job. But you notice there's some Reds that are kind of on your side of things, where they're more sympathetic to you, and that's what these beads are going to represent: is how many Reds are tilting your way, let us through, versus Balasar's way, which is shut up and keep working. And I'm going to write down some of the things they're saying, as you recall from the Kobold area. So we'll develop that. Now I'm up for new ideas, but I start off with a few basic ideas, and if you have a great new idea, if you say, oh, we would never say that, then let me know. But I'll sort of do some default things. All right. So Balasar, what's his stance? Like, what is he saying and all his followers are saying that sort of, is keeping you out? He says things like this, and his people say something like this. Working for Ziggy in the Shrine of Evil Chaos is awesome! We should stay loyal to him. Loyal to our bosses. Ziggy and our bosses, they told us to stop intruders, pointing at you, from coming through our side. And if new people want to join us, they need to stay here. The bosses will knock on the door, and the bosses will come out and vet them. They're not supposed to go through there. So their stance is do not let them through. It's our job to fight anybody who comes through. So if you don't change their attitude, they won't let you go through without some sort of huge fight breaking out. But if you convince them, oh, no, we actually want to join you, that's not going to work either. You're not going to be let in. The bosses are going to come out to you, which also doesn't sound very good because you're trying to kind of get the drop on whoever the bosses are. So you need to change that stance. What do you want their stance to become? Here's a suggestion, and you can sort of tweak it as you wish. So maybe you should convince them of the following. Get them to say, we should stop working for these bosses in the Shrine of Evil Chaos, and we should get the hell out of here. We are going to avoid whatever destruction these amazing heroes are going to bring, and change is coming, and let's just get out while we can. We're going to leave. We're going to let them intrude deeper in there. We don't care anymore. And maybe we should even join them. Like maybe if you do a really convincing job, you'll get a new ally out of these threads. They'll flip over to your side. So I'm proposing that as what you'd like them to say. One variation of that is like, oh, you want them to think, oh, they're still Reds, but you're the new bosses through deception. If you're a very deceptive group, you have a lot of ideas how to fool them. That'd be one way to do it. In any case, you want to impress them. Does anybody really object to this stance? Like you want to basically convince them to let you through?
You could always tell the head guy a lie or something to create disorder.
Yeah. So as you play, everybody will make individual moves, or you'll pair up and your pair will make a move, where one thing to do is deception. So you and your partner might say, we're going to use deception together to try to tell this lie, which will lower their confidence. And that'll be a point on your side, for example. Or to some of the points that they'll say that I'll write down, you could strike against some of the things they believe in by using deception. So if you're good at deception, or if you have some ideas of a really compelling lie, that's definitely a tactic you can use. But you can do all sorts of things to influence things. But the stance, so your object, does anybody object to that object? You're trying to get them to sort of lose heart, give up, maybe even work for you.
Work for us.
Or we could check what's behind the curtain on the stage.
Yeah, if you get close to Silver's like, going. They're really like, it's just like you can't get close to the Iron Door, you can't get to the curtain, and they're like, later. It's like, no, we're working on a show, it's very important, and they're look pretty spacey, look pretty irritable, and you feel like, you are taken at the word, like, maybe we'll talk to them some other time. Okay. All right, so, if you change this, then these Reddits, they won't stop you as you check out that door and try to get through it. You might become a new ally. There's kind of a jury listening to this, and that is the red idiots themselves. So they're either leaning toward Balasar or they're leaning towards you. So that's what these beads represent. So it's kind of like a jury. And the majority is going to dictate which way it goes. So you want to have more people on your side than theirs. Here are some things that they are saying. And each of these things, you want to think of ways that you could choose to tear down one of these points. You want to disprove this belief that they have by using one of your skills, including deception or whatever else. Here are some things. So here's one thing they say. Strict hierarchy. That's what they're into. Strict hierarchy in this red system, that is the best way to get what we want. They say a lot of this, things you've heard before, which is, again, a weird belief that you've never heard of before in this world. They say, souls that express themselves as strong and masculine should be in charge of everything. Anybody who's weak, those who have express as feminine, they should be following our orders. Now this is weird, even though in our real world we're very familiar with this kind of attitude. In this world, there's really no such thing as sort of gender-based discrimination. So this is a bizarre idea that you've maybe never heard before. In this world, your body actually changes based on your own orientation. If you spend enough time focusing on expressing yourself as male or female, your body can actually change from one to the other over time. So in this world, something about the magic or things, that expression is very fluid. So this whole idea of dividing, saying right-handed people are superior to left-handed people, it just makes no sense to you. But these guys believe this very firmly. So they have this chain of hierarchy, of domination. They're all about domination in general, hierarchy in general, but also has this weird sort of, this gendered cant to it. That's one thing they're saying. So, hierarchy. Good. Masculine, best. That's one thing they're repeating to want to keep working for the SOEC. That's number one. Another thing they say, we have divine power on our side, Balasar reminds them. Powerful and important deities want us to succeed. We have deities.
That's cool. I have like 2.
So we are strong in the ways of there's divine power on our side. So again, you might think of ways to sort of, try to get them to be less enthusiastic by that point. That's another reason they want to stay. Here's the third one. Ziggy shreds on guitar better than anyone in the world. Pointing to the paintings. We will become the best fans of the most awesomest heavy metal band in the world if we stick with them. So, want to stick with Ziggy because he shreds harder than anyone has ever shredded before. Ziggy shreds. It's another thing they believe in. They might do things to try to demonstrate this. So they'll try to do things to support their points and tear down yours. You'll do the opposite. They'll try to support your points, which I'm about to reveal, and tear down theirs. So, who are your points? Oh, by the way, this is not, if you think of something else that you think you can dunk on them in some fourth way, that's okay, but we want to make sure that's something that they really care about. You know they care about this. If you speculate on something, I'll try to say yes to it, because this is my job as a DM, but I can't go outside the story of what we know they believe. So those are the safest ones to stick to, but also looking for some creativity. That's fine. So these are ones that are also more optional. I'll put down some ideas of things that you could do to also try to prove your point. And of course, each of these have revealed something about the Reds, and you're revealing something about yourself to them as you say these things. Here are some points that you think might work. One is, so there's adventurers. There are adventures. You are adventurers, people. There are adventures you can go on, just like we're adventurers. There's great stuff to do. There's a wide world out there. You don't have to work on this shitty job. You can go out and get treasure, and you can get stronger, and you can discover new things. Real kind of like join the army kind of rallying cry for adventure. You can get riches. You can do whatever you want. So this is like, you're basically saying, go on adventures.
Is Battlestar doing like the same room, like he appears to be having the same occupation as everyone else?
He seems to be more of an enforcer, though he does have a pile of ore next to him. He seems to have a similar job, but he seems to also be kind of, a bit stronger. So you get the idea he's getting other people to do things for him. So that's one thing.
Do you have any musicians who know?
Yeah, see, that's it. So you can try to tear this down and say like, oh, you think Ziggy's good at guitar? Well, we got somebody who's even better, right? Yeah. So that if one of you has the perform skill, you might decide that this might be your chance to shine. Here's the second point that UPCs could make to tell them to flip. Your bosses are just using you. Your bosses, you are just fodder for their plans. You are the cannon fodder for their plans. In this hierarchy, you are at the bottom of it. If you do not fit their plans, you are disposable. So get them to realize that. Your bosses are using you. I'll flip this around so you can read it after I'm done. Okay, so that's another point that you can repeat. The last thing that you might persuade them, knowing what you know about them, is we are powerful fighters. Like this whole organization that you're working for is not going to last long. Now that we're here, we are going to destroy it soon, and you had best not get in the way. You'll be left with nothing. You're betting on the wrong horse.
So it's just cast fireball.
That's right, yeah.
Solutions
Fireball, only fireball.
We are powerful fighters, wizards. We know how to do massive damage compared to your bosses. All right. Are there any of these three things that anyone feel like I know that I don't think our party would say any of these? Is there anything that's very much against what our party stands for? It picks some pretty generic things. You could add a fourth thing if you want to prove as you go. So you're not stuck with this. You can be creative here. But anybody have a big objection to this list? Some good structure to go on?
I feel like this second part might tie with my idea, but like obviously he's is it Balasar?
Yeah, Balasar.
Yeah, he's saying like we got so much reward. It's like you're still in the same place. There's blood everywhere, people are dying.
Yeah.
I don't really see this happening.
Yeah.
We want to be fans of Ziggy, but who do you as people want to be?
Okay, yeah, so that could be part of this. It could also be part of this.
But nothing more.
Yeah, it could be part of this inspiration as well. Like, yeah, you shouldn't just be fans for some dude and working shitty job. You should be like us. You should go on great adventures and have a great time. Yeah.
And we can show them some loot as well.
Exactly. So if you and your pair decide to do that, you can say we're going to use persuasion or history to talk about our story, or we're going to show off loot to get advantage. We can give them some loot, like, hey, have this. We're so rich that you can have some of this and get advantage on the roll. So you're going to get into pairs. And so that means we'll have 1, 2, 3, and then we'll have one left over. So if one of you gets left out with a pair, if there's assuming there's time, you'll be able to just do your own thing. Right? So if somebody's left out, don't worry about it. And when you go in the pair, you both remember you're using the same skill. So you both roll on that skill. So you might want to find some synergy, but as long as one of you is good at the skill, you've got a pretty good chance. You have effective advantage by getting together. When you do so, remember it's a skill. You want to think of if there's any world facts. Is there some sort of item or something in the backstory that gives you? And also, like, how do you say it? There's going to be a little bit of, like, you're going to have to give me a line, on how do you say this thing. All these things will be worth points. As you roll, these beads will be added to. So there's 5. No, let's do 4. There are many beads. I'll add more. So let's say about equal numbers. Each of these represent more than one person, but there's some reds that are leaning towards you, some that are leaning towards Balasar. Remember, you're either trying to boost one of your points, a skill that proves this point, or you're tearing down something there, trying to disprove one of these points. So talk a little bit amongst yourselves and figure out what your pairs are as you do that.
As the only feminine one in the party today, I would really like to attack that one about the hierarchy and masculine is
That's
best.
right, sure, yeah, that's right. You got a great demonstration of a counterexample. Okay, cool.
And we could pretend that you're the leader of the group.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So
And
your
we
partner,
could be,
yeah.
like, pretending that the female is in charge, and we're like, who are you?
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, if you have a partner,
Just
so if you bring in a partner that could sort of support that story, yeah, you're telling a compelling story. It could be deception in that like, oh, you're clearly the leader when you're actually egalitarian, or just telling the truth using persuasion, or using history to tell stories of like. There's all kinds of examples of societies that are nothing like this that succeed. Name a society that that doesn't. So you might find a partner for that. And talk amongst yourselves.
As a cleric, I want to fully attack the divine power thing and talk about the divine power that I am familiar with.
Good. Yeah, and you can have multiple conversations. Yeah,
Could
you can talk
I
side to
show
side.
off my red mirror and be like, yeah, I'm bringing these guys in to see the bosses and be like,
Yeah, that
like
might
going
be
in.
like this deity thing, like because the red mirror, so remember, devils are, or Asmodeus, the leader of hell, is a deity, right? So you say, oh, if you want to talk deities, I'm connected, so that kind of thing. You could work on that. So find partners with that. Again, we'll give just a couple minutes to decide before we start asking for a first volunteer.
I could, if I'm the one left out and everyone else wants to do pairs, I could always beast shape into a giant wolf spider and show them that their power is not all that great.
All right, cool.
can we just fight them?
It would be a major bloodbath, and they do seem to be rather innocent.
Just
and
1v1 us, and
really a danger
we'll
to
show
you.
you his boss.
3, which might help me know who to actually go to try and trick and how to.
Yeah, I got a +5 for that, so that'll work.
Yeah.
Does anyone have a high skill for Arcana?
Yeah. 5?
Because I was thinking of demonstrating my feminine
Yeah.
power.
Yeah, with an arcane partner, and so
using some magic.
Yeah, because they're definitely saying like, dudes are better at everything. And you're like, watch this. Okay, cool. Good. We have a few ideas, so we don't have to form all the pairs here. We just need one pair to volunteer. So you take a turn, then I take a turn, or I represent Balasar take a turn. We'll go back and forth. So who wants to be the first pair? Who's got an idea that you want to go for?
Do we want to try what you guys do? Hey.
Yeah.
I go through. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Arcana as a way to tear down this idea of hierarchy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in order to demonstrate the power that I, as a feminine creature, have, I would like to cast Firebolt on something, just something that's flammable. Just not a person, but just a thing.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so this is where you make a choice. If you use a cantrip, it'll give you like a plus. That's like a world fact on your side. So what I'll do is I'll secretly build up a little handful of beads here that as you come up with clever ideas or do good acting, I'll give you anywhere from 0 to 3 pluses based on what you both come up with. Okay, so yeah, if you are using a cantrip, that might be a +1. Yeah, so that's good. Setting something on fire, that's kind of cool. And anything else? Yeah, is there anything else that you think would give you advantages? So you both be rolling Arcana, but you get a bonus from little interesting, clever touches. You say or do? Is there a line that you say?
I'm just going to hold a really feminine stance while
Yeah.
I do it.
Yeah, right. Sure. Yeah, the Beyonce. Do the Beyonce pose.
Yeah.
Do you have any ideas of how you're going to juice this up?
No, not really.
So how do your Arcana support Del's
Yeah,
Arcana?
that's what I was-
How do you sort of feed your magic power into what Del's rocking here? Is there another element that's the opposite of fire that might be destroyed or melted of some sort?
I can, yeah, just like make some like ice that she can just melt.
Yeah. So like, well, do you have a cantrip? Or again, if you use a burn a spell slot, you'll get advantage on your roll, right? But if you want to keep it as a cantrip, you could use a cold-based cantrip.
Oh,
Okay.
wait, no, it's not really. Ray Frost isn't really something that you could melt, is it?
No, we can interpret these creatively. Yeah, so you could use Ray of Frost, just and just show how the fire beats the frost, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Sort of a bit of a Harry Potter, yeah, a bit of a Voldemort fight.
I don't think my character would do that because my character is like very like I am the best ice.
Oh, this is very interesting though. So can Mur swallow his pride for the good of the group?
I don't think I don't think he would do that.
Oh, all right. So
like I'll use a cantrip, but like you got to be using something better than my cantrip.
Okay, what do you think you would use? What? So, are you using a particular spell or anything like that?
Yeah, I'd be using Ray Frost. But
Ray Frost, yeah. Okay. All right. So you sort of demonstrate that. Okay. All right. So, is there any like last lines or anything else that you can dramatize this? So, unless you want to do that pose again, I guess I would do it. Okay. Last chance for anything else to juice it up before we roll. Okay. So I'll give you 2 points out of that. Would have been a little better if Mur had participated in that. I love the idea of like fire beating ice. Because the Abanthuls are into ice and all that stuff. It could have been good. That's all right. So you each roll Arcana, and you each roll 2 on top of your Arcana roll. Your DC that you're trying to make, this is where you start to succeed, is 14. Trying to make a 14. Ooh, 19.
19. So what's that?
Plus these 2.
12.
Hey, 12, the 2. So
20, math right now.
Yeah.
26.
Okay, 26. All right, yeah. So
Plus
one
my,
high, one low. This is interesting. Yeah. So you succeed. So you manage to prove the points. It doesn't. So given what the rolls, can you tell a story of like how did this play out? So given the difference in rolls here, what actually happened while I write down notes?
I would say so. I cast my firebolt and it got the pile of garbage or whatever it was that was burning, but it also kind of sparks went and maybe caught on some of the portraits or something.
Oh, yeah, sure, yeah.
Maybe Mur had to use his
Use the ice bowl. Okay, yeah, sure. Okay, but yeah, they're like, whoa, like, so do you see what she's like? She's got magical power. Like, are they supposed to do that? Like, Ziggy said that wasn't supposed to happen. So you've proven your points, which means you've taken a point away from them. So the people supporting this, they have 1 less point now. So you're starting to win. Okay, puts it out. And each of these things will affect how this group feels about you. So all the points that you boost or tear down are going to permanently affect their attitudes going forward. Okay. Think of you might debate. I'm going to come up with another one. So start deciding what your next move is going to be. But I'll interrupt with one.
If we both grab our mirror fragments and slightly away from them, but really obviously doing it so that they'll look, or not so that they'll look, but so they notice. We can start having a look through them and talking about how good it is that we've got them, maybe, and how that Ziggy must not really give much of a shit about them because they don't seem to have any.
Or that Ziggy has heard that they're not happy about their work, and he's given us the red fragments to spy on them, but we're actually on their side because
I think that's a shame that we've had to spy on these guys because
Ziggy's really not on their side, and they're maybe something like that as well.
Yeah.
Cool.
To try and create discredit. Yeah.
So we discredit them we're trying to make them just leave. I can't read these anymore.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Whichever the one that says that they should just leave pack up and go. Because
Or that they're being used,
Yeah, they're being
Sure,
used.
sure, they're
Yeah,
being
yeah,
used.
that's right. Yeah, your boss was using you. So you
and
do
that they've
one.
given us the shards because we're more, or the mirrors, because we're more powerful than the guy.
Oh, nice.
the
Okay,
guy
great. Yeah, so you
that
consider,
Balzar.
yeah, what kind of skills. Okay, so
So
let's
we've
pause
been
that.
chosen. Yeah.
Great. So, so while you're sort of in the corner, sort of say, okay, what kind of point can you make? So as you're developing that, Balasar steps up and makes a little speech. He talks about religion. He wants to boost this idea of we have divine power on our side, right? We have deities on our side, and he's like, yeah, arcane magic might be all right, fire and ice, all stuff, but who's more powerful than all that stuff is the deities. Or, he starts off pointing down, the deities, who are all over the place. And our powerful secret deities have done many things, my friends, you've seen. You've seen healing. You've seen people break out in boils. You've seen people commanded to kneel and grovel, and they have done so, without their will. Ziggy's made somebody piss himself up on stage. This is power of the deities that we have behind us. So many wonders. And he's talking about how powerful they are. He's using a religious argument. And he seems to know his stuff okay. So just like you, he's better at some things than others. I'm going to give him a +4 total on his roll. So he's got some religious skills. He does come up with some interesting points. So I'm going to give him a +4. So just like you, he is trying to make a 14 with a +4. And he's trying to boost this deities thing. 8 +4 is only 12.
Ooh.
He does not make it. So he fails at that. I'm going to start tracking something. Well, failure, I'm going to do boost. So this is the hierarchy. So this is one of the battle stars that's got X'd out. So you've done one strike. Once it has a strike, yes, don't stack on more. Like, don't keep tearing down a point that's torn down. It's more fun if we spread it around a little bit. Trying to do this, and he did not succeed. The jury's listening to him, and they're like, and he starts repeating himself, like, and the boils, did I mention the boils? Those boils are cool. That guy pissed himself. But yeah, the people sort of lose interest. He doesn't know enough about religion to get it over the edge. So it's your turn. I think you two are cooking something up. So what skill are you sharing, and do you make a sacrifice to sweeten up, or anything that sweetens up the roll?
Okay, so the sacrifice would be...
Oh, which point are you going after? This is your bosses are using you?
The bosses are using you.
Okay,
So we're having a quiet, loud conversation in the corner about how we're using the mirrors to report on them.
Yes.
Ah, okay.
And we've been asked to spy on them because we're basically trying to give them evidence that the bosses are using them.
Ah, so you're basically deceived, like you're telling a deceptive story? So is deception the skill that you're using?
Not very good at deception.
It's perception. So what
Perception.
we're doing is we can see the ones that are a little bit worried
Oh,
about.
so you're kind of tricking them into sort of spying on you.
Yeah, they're not happy about their work and that sort of thing. So if we go in and we say, oh, we've been given these from the boss because we're kind of been
Okay.
brought in from.
So it's not a
Yeah.
loud conversation, we're just having small conversations with the people that we perceive are
Yeah.
likely to change.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
so
like,
okay.
We've heard that they're.
we've come because the boss has given us these shards to tell you to get better at work.
Yeah.
You guys are slagging off. You guys are shit at your job.
But what we want to say is we actually don't like the boss, and the boss is actually using them. We're trying to help them.
You
Yeah.
come up to them and
Yeah.
say, look, you've got to get better at the job or you might as well go. I don't want to have to
Oh,
We-
okay,
we
yeah,
were-
right,
use
right,
you,
yeah,
but-
okay, great.
And we go around to the right people to say that, and that's where we use our perception
Oh,
to
nice.
tell who the right people are.
Yeah.
So we're trying to create disharmony and a
Yeah.
lack of
Good.
trust.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great idea. It's a great idea. Okay. Now, perception is, so insight would be straight on, right? So insight is I know you're not very good at insight, or as good at insight. Insight is very easy to read people's emotions, but it's probably a way to use perception. Like, what kind of what visual clues, subtle visual clues do you notice about with the right people to talk to? What would they
I
look
can
like?
do insight on it as well.
Oh.
How good are you at insight?
Sort of would fit with that.
It'd just be based on wisdom, so per maybe, it'd be on your second sheet in. Could somebody help out me to show what those are? Where wisdom versus perception is?
Insight, +1.
Yep. And you're both rolling, so one of you's good at this.
Perception is +3.
We'll go perception.
Okay, so perception. Yeah, so what's a visual detail that you could? So you're very good at perception as well. So yeah, what could you notice visually with perception that would give you the clue on who to talk to?
So
What
when
would it look
Ziggy was up there discussing how good the deities were, when Balzar was up there discussing how good the deities were, both of us were against one of the walls
Yeah.
really scouting out who were the main dissenters.
Okay,
So
yes.
who were not listening and who were the first to go, and that's who we targeted to go and talk to.
Right, yeah, who's kind of whispering to each other with your keen hearing, yeah, sort of like spying on them without sort of them noticing and all that stuff. Okay, I can buy that. Okay,
And
great.
also watching for the people who aren't working as hard and people
Good.
exhausted.
Very good, very
and
good.
want to-
Exactly, yeah. Okay, you can see the ones that didn't make as much progress. Their instruments show that. Okay, great. Is there anything you can do to get little pluses on this roll? So it involves like, a good line, a world fact, something about your backstory that might make you especially good at this active perception, any way to juice up your roll, or a spell or something you're willing to sacrifice to get advantage on the roll. So there's your chance to decide that.
A line would maybe be your so the whole idea of going up to one of them or in earshot a couple of the people that we perceived and saying and just holding the mirror loosely. Really don't want to have to report back that you guys aren't into this. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay. You might have actual practice doing this. I can see you're good at that.
And we asked-
Okay, that might be worth some points.
Yeah, we asked her to show the big mirror.
I don't think I can help in this.
Oh, yeah,
Because I've already
Mer's got
used
some
mine.
history with the Reds. He's chilling out the group
You
again.
can't, you
Yeah.
can't
I think
boost
you're
us
allowed
to
to.
the
Yeah.
more powerful.
Oh,
Yeah.
am I allowed to help? Because I've already done
Yeah. Listen, I think because it was
I can
Maria's
just, like,
idea or
Look at
Goblin's
aside and
idea.
show that there's like
Yeah.
a
Yeah,
massive
okay.
mirror there and saying, we've
Okay,
been
cool.
given all
Yeah, if you're willing to let Godwin borrow the mirror just for a second to do that, okay. Maybe with some reluctance, Mer lets you handle the red mirror. He has an intact red mirror for a while. Okay, cool. That's great. If you want to give up the red mirror permanently, you might get advantage on the roll.
No.
Okay.
Right, so just to borrow,
If you
that's
don't
good.
fumble it.
Yeah. Okay, good. Now I'm going to give you 2 points. So out of 3, that's good. I like that line quite a lot. That was great. So I really pictured that. So you're each going to roll perception, whatever your bonus on perception is, plus an additional 2 because of these circumstances that you did. And you each roll.
You guys don't.
Natural 20.
Whoa!
Yes, very convincing.
Maybe
I've
it's
got a
Is it-
13 plus
So,
3,
27.
16.
Oh,
That's
wow.
18 I got.
Holy
I got
cow!
27.
Yeah.
18 and 27.
18, 27, so I'll do this average. Okay. 18 plus 27 divided by 2. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Hang on.
I think we can do some.
Yeah, very
Very
good.
good.
That 20 has some big benefits and things. Cool. Okay. So yeah, that's 20. That's 22. So that is way beyond. So you beat it by more than 5, which means you get a reward. Each of you that got higher. So you each got higher. Both of you get some personal monetary reward. What would it be? So yeah. Oh, they tried to bribe you, right? They're like, oh no, please don't report to the boss. So they each kind of like come up with some silver pieces. Each of you walk away with 30 silver pieces each.
Oh, wow.
So put them 3 gold, 30 silver pieces. They bribe you. And this natural 20 I'm going to remember as well. So nat 20, don't want to have to report you. Gale, nat 20. So you are going to have a permanent advantage on convincing the idiots that you are who you say you are. Like anytime they totally believe that you're some sort of inspector and you can keep minding that. But both of you have made a good case for it, but nat 20 means that you've really got the knack for it.
Permanent advantage on convincing idiots.
Convincing the red idiots that you're an inspector. Okay, great. All right. Anybody has other ideas? Start talking with yourselves. I'm finishing these notes and I'm choosing what to do. If anybody have an idea of what to do, start cooking it up. Yeah, correspond. Anybody got ideas of what they're going to do next? While I write some notes. And
Yeah,
decide what to
we're
do?
going to go for intimidation to try and prove that we're powerful fighters.
Yes.
Yeah. He's already discredited the day. He's already
Yeah,
discredited himself, right?
but I know that the main guy has an advantage on religion, so I don't want to really challenge that.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't get points. So this
Or
was.
should you cower
Boss
down to
using
the
it?
female
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
pretend to go into a fight or
5
something
points
with
to 2.
Jared.
You're doing well.
But we've already
We've already
done
explained
that.
that.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, we're going to prove that we're powerful fighters
Cool.
using our intimidation.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
so,
Wait, so pause that for a second because I've got a counter move, but you'll be next. Okay, I just wanted to you to fill that. Okay, great. So you're starting to conspire and come up with a plan, while Balasar says, "But Ziggy shreds on guitar better than anybody's ever shredded. Let me show you." He like gets out his guitar, he sort of tunes a little bit. It's like, "All right, man, this is a good one, man. You all remember this song? Who remembers this song?" He like tries to get the crowd going and get them clapping along. And he tries to use perform. Now he's pretty good. He's pretty good at performing, and it's an amazing. You have to admit, it's an amazing composition. Like Balasar himself is a bit of a dick. He isn't playing super well, but there's really an amazing like heavy metal sort of chord progression that Ziggy obviously wrote. So you're learning something about Ziggy's skills here. He is going to try to shred as well as possible using perform. I'm going to give him 3 points on this one. So his base is just a +3. Another 3 for those points. I'm going to give him a +6 to try to make 14. +6 to try to make 14. Here we go. +6. Yes! All right. So managed to win the point. He gets the Reds going and like some really charged up. Like, yeah, man, we can't let Ziggy down. Like, yeah, we're his #1 fans. So they get a point. Ziggy shreds. So now it is 3 points to 4. We're going to do only 1 round each. If you double their points, you really super win them. If you just get more points, you win them over basically. Right? That's the difference between high success and low success.
Can I know these guys can have their turn next, but
Sure.
I'm just wondering, as a kind of a counter, because I'll be doing it on my own.
Yeah.
Because I do have something separate, but I just thought, as you were doing that, could it be possible to use my turn to kind of counter that directly by, for example, sleight of hand coming in and unplugging his guitar and ruining the song or something, so he actually, I know you rolled really high, but
Yeah, you could tear that dude basically with your own moves like, hey dude, can you play that again? Or like, can you know this particular song? Like while he's playing it, then you try to screw it up.
try to screw it up.
So that's definitely a possibility. You might use like a sleight of hand or something. You think of some skill that you do that with. That sounds like fun.
So I think there's more value in removing if you want to try to double this pitch.
Yeah,
Maybe
I was just about to
one
say,
of these.
I was just about to say,
effective
removing it
adding.
would be,
Yeah, effectively would double it then.
Yeah, exactly.
removing one is easier than...
Fighting one, is it to you? You two?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can, for physical, you can basically use your main attack bonus, which is the same thing. I mean, it's still a proficiency-based thing, so it's just as powerful as if you're really great at history or something, or perception. So you can use your attack bonuses to really demonstrate, and you're trying to say, we are awesome fighters. So you're trying to boost this point. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you is there anything about the world, about them? Convince me to see if you can get 1 extra point or 2. And
Well,
also,
the
is there a
way you
line?
described it, we might be doing something a little bit different.
Sure.
So Merv and I, what cast?
I was going to use Thaumaturgy.
Okay.
And I was going to use minor illusion. So what I would like to do would be to essentially make like a demonic version of myself. Imagine like part Meridia, part Nocturnal
Ooh.
taking over.
Yeah.
Where it's like the light and then the dark.
All right.
And this like mist just booming off her, like blood spewing out from her. There's life on this side. So it's really kind of creepy but terrifying at the same time. And he wants to use thaumaturgy to, kind of just whisper like a puppeteer, and use a booming voice to basically say, like, to the whole room,
Yeah.
you are weak, like all gods were once mortals. We are here to tread on your pitiful leader. Let us pass and you will live.
Wow. All right. What a
And
line.
we want to use that as intimidation. So to
Okay.
show that, like, mortals can also become gods.
Yeah.
That's what we are here for. We are powerful
Okay.
humans.
Awesome. It's a weapon attack. I love that. It's a weapon attack. What are you using for your weapon?
Warhammer.
A warhammer. Yeah, and are you two like sparring with each other? Imagine you're sort of like fighting each other to sort of show that you're both really powerful. Is that kind of how this goes? You think? Like, are you doing weapon attacks? No, you don't have to damage each other. You can like spar with each other.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. You're concentrating on this illusion at the same time. Definitely.
Yeah. Okay,
So the illusion is sort of in the
exactly
backdrop. Yeah.
Yes.
Because I love this picture that's painting.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, cool.
So the other things I can do with thaumaturgy is create harmless tremors to make it seem like I'm causing an earthquake.
Right, yeah, okay, great.
When it doesn't, and he can pretend that he's actually being affected.
Oh, nice. Okay, really acting it out. What is your weapon that you're using in the sparring match? Is it daggers? Is it
I'm going to go short sword.
short sword? Okay, so I'm really picturing this really well. That's awesome. Okay, what else can I think that, or what am I doing with this? Yeah. Just one. So remember that minor illusion is only like one frozen image. So you do like flashes, like you create it and then you dispel it and maybe create another thing. So you don't. So there's higher level spells do like animation and stuff.
Okay,
you still get still be a beautiful
Yeah, it's
image. Just remember,
definitely
these,
flashing, yeah.
flashing sort of static images. Okay, this is great. Okay, you're going with your strengths. I'm going to give you 2 points total on top of your weapon attack bonus result, which I know is very high. So I think you've got a big advantage on this. 2 points on top of your weapon attack. You know your weapon, your dagger bonus. You got your warhammer bonus. Okay, all right. You're going to both roll, and we'll take the average of the two to get your score. And then add 2 on whatever you just rolled and your weapon attack bonus.
21.
25.
Woo, okay, that's good. That's like 22-ish, right? 21, 23, 21, 25. 23. Is that 5 higher?
23, yeah.
23, is
So
that
it's just
5?
going to like.
That is 5 higher than you needed, so you get some good recognition there. Good job. Okay.
Tills are just torn open his like robe to start the fight.
yeah. All right, this goes really well. You really stage a fantastic fight with that thaumaturgy, with that eerie flashes, very convincing fighting, and by the time it's over with, you manage to sort of bash yourselves. What's a good reward that you get? One of the reds gives each of you, it's like, oh yeah, I lost a bro, like he was a really good fighter and I think he would have wanted you to have this. He gives each of you a silver dagger. The silver dagger is probably worth, probably 4 gold pieces. So each of you, or 40, so you have silver, you each have a silver dagger from the Reds. I'll write all this down, think of what your next move is. I'll give you another point. You boosted this up. So this is We Are Awesome Fighters. 1 more point on the board. You've got 5. They've got 3. You're not quite doubling it, but you're doing very well.
Wait, how many pieces? How many silver?
It's worth 4 gold pieces. Yeah. Or 40 silver pieces. Like we melted it down, I guess, from 40. So it's like a silver blade.
So I've got two possibilities here. First one is to do 2 things. To try to convince the Reds that Ziggy's actually just like those performers over there in the silver, right? He's
cool.
He's actually, his playing guitar business is just not a show of strength at all. And what I want to do to prove that is get him to, try to play it again. And I'll use my sleight of hand to do 2 things. One, to try and interfere with the guitar playing surreptitiously. But 2, I've got some of the drugs from Jop's cave. And I want to kind of blow those into his face and get him like all drugged up like the Silvers are, so that the Reds are going to look at him and go, oh my god, how did this guy we thought was Alpha is actually just one of those Silvers over there. So that's one option.
Get him a drink. So you're so powerful. Yeah, I want to hear you play that again.
Yeah.
Here's a drink.
The other option was in this talking about going on an adventure and convincing them that we know the secret of how to find another shard mine, and that if they went off on their own, think how powerful they could become if they discovered and took the adventure journey.
Except we're the only ones that know that.
We don't know where it is precisely, but we kind of know.
We're the only ones that know there's another shard.
Yeah, so that maybe that's interesting. But it's a
powerful,
way
it
of
could have
kind
an
of
effect
giving
on the
them
world.
oh my god, we could start up our own.
Are we the only one that knows that there's another shard mine? Though?
I think that they were trying to get. I think there might be suspicions, but
This might be from the fun.
I don't think.
I reckon you should just spread it.
Well, but I'm pretty sure they're aware that there's another place to mine. They just don't know where the mine is. I think that's more like it, because why would they care about the orrery if they didn't know
These
there
guys
was a
wouldn't
mine?
know about it. These guys
definitely would.
These guys definitely.
Oh, there's-
Well, let's go with this. Let's do this.
So let's get it
But I
around
think
and why give
strategically
away as well.
Any information.
If
This sounds
that
more
one
fun.
wins, then we'll definitely have like more than twice as many beads on our side.
Because it takes off a bit.
If
doesn't it?
this one
Yeah.
wins, then we'll
Oh,
only just
interesting,
have
yeah.
twice as many as the other side. So I think that one's the better choice.
So I'm going to try and drug Ziggy with my powdered chop chop
Ziggy?
drug. No, sorry, Balzar.
Balzar, all right.
And interfere with his music playing.
All right.
And try to convince the Reds that really he's just like one of those silver guys over there. He is not the leader you should be looking to. We are the leaders.
Okay, great. Now you're going solo in this one.
Yes,
you
I
need
am.
a partner for this
Yes,
one. Okay.
yes.
What skill do you think it is
Well,
that
I
you
thought
either
sleight of
convince
hand,
him?
maybe.
Right, sleight of hand to get
So
it
to
into his
actually
drink or his food or something.
both
Yeah.
to interfere with the music playing and also to get the drugs into
Yeah,
into
okay.
his-
Yeah, that makes
into his
sense.
face.
Yeah, the drugs might just do it enough. I love that
Yeah.
idea. Yeah, to sort of
Yeah.
get him infused the drugs, kind of like blow smoke into his face.
Yeah,
like
because
quietly
the
sort of
drugs are in
light some-
powder form, so I don't
Yeah.
know whether I could just sort of blow them in his
Right,
face
yeah,
or,
okay.
you know,
Right.
sort of...
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Ah,
yeah,
yes.
and not get, but
Yeah,
sleight of hand, right? Trying to cover it up somehow. Yeah, so how would sleight of hand help with that? Like, how could you do it in a sneaky way where, of course, he doesn't realize it's you, otherwise he'd be suspicious.
Maybe in the moment that like everyone is watching our scene of us fighting and this demonic image showing up, or what was the other one when
Yeah, sure. Let's tie
when
these
he
together.
was trying to play his music, like there's always the occasion that eyes are off him.
Yeah,
No one's really watching him at the time.
yeah. Okay.
So I'm just
Yep,
going to sort of, I'm
Or
going to
he's
sort of...
distracted.
I'm convincing the Reds that this guy's just one of the silvers.
Right,
I want
right.
I want them to think that he's not a powerful leader. at all.
Yeah.
Use his ego.
And that playing guitar, which
Oh,
is
I
kind
get
of
it.
why I'm targeting this one. It's playing guitar is just a performance, like those guys on stage, right?
Yeah.
And if I can then use my sleight of hand to,
Okay,
as
good.
I sort of challenging, and he gets his guitar out to prove me wrong,
Yeah.
so I can just sort of blow those chop powders into
Yes,
his
okay,
face,
great,
so
great.
he inhales them, and then he starts acting like a silver as well.
That's
to
awesome.
prove the
Okay.
point.
And you'd
Now,
be like
dropped off.
sidling up to him to kind of like ask him,
Yeah.
like, I'm Greg's fan, so that would help you with the.
Nice. Okay, yeah, because sleight of
Right.
hand is doing the right moves and also
Yeah.
the right timing as well.
Yes.
So I totally believe that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. I'll start building up points on
So
that.
I'm
That's
using,
good.
I'm going to use those powders, so I'm giving that up.
Yep. Okay. Great. Yep. That's right. Now that's worth. So that's a sacrifice of an item. You can get advantage on this roll because those for all you know, those are quite expensive drugs. That maybe gives you a hint that they're worth quite a bit because they're powerful enough to give you an advantage on this.
Okay.
So you get yes. Okay. So you get advantage on the roll. It means you roll twice and take the higher of the two. What is your bonus for sleight of hand?
+3.
Okay. Good. Yeah. So it's reasonably strong because you got pretty good dexterity. Okay. And I like this image itself. Is there a line, as it were, not maybe a line from you, but describe what happens when you know that if this works, why did it work? Like
Well,
inside. Paint us a picture.
Let's see now. I'm very good at this.
Take a big inhale.
Give it a
Stumbles
give,
backwards
give,
and then he
give your best go.
Okay, so I'm actually going to address myself to the other
Yeah.
Reds.
Oh, yeah,
not
okay, this is the
straight
speech
to
you're gonna-
Balzar.
yeah, all right.
I'm going to say, guys, Balzar, this man is just like those drugged out silver performers over there. This is the strongest your leader. This is the guy that you think is your alpha. Look at him. He can't play. He's just a musician. Music is not power. Let's just see what he does, right? Let's just
Yeah.
watch him
Yeah.
and see how he is just like those silver wusses over there with their garish clothes and
Right on. Yeah.
performance.
Okay. Great.
So
All right. Fantastic. Yeah.
There
So
we go.
sneakily there, I'm going to give you a
Oh,
+2
geez.
on top of everything else.
that's
Ooh, is it enough?
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
14? What was the DC? 14? I forget what my DC. 14 is just enough.
That's enough.
Barely makes it. Extra advantage. Good
Good,
job.
back off.
Okay, yeah. So it lands. Good job. All right. So you got an extra point torn down. So this thing now, he plays again. It goes terribly wrong. Some of the Reds turned against him, and look, the support is going down even more. Very good. Okay. Who has not gone yet?
That's it.
Everybody's gone? Okay. Let's see if you can pull this out to try to... Oh, man, it's going to take a massive success to not make it an overwhelming success. You've done a very good job here. You outnumber them a great deal. Here, let me write this stuff down. This is the tear down. Because all these things affect the future. Okay. Yeah. You can tell by like he is spaced out. Like in the middle is like whoa. It's like so some boy's like spiders. He drops his guitar.
Should I just use my identifier to find out what these drugs are?
You can do that sometime. All right, great. All right, one last chance. What can I boost on my side? What can I tear down on your side?
He's drugged out as well. So
That's right. Yeah, I made this point. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now I've got an idea here. All right. So he just gets this weird expression like, I can see into all of your minds. I'm getting some really weird vibes from these people here. I'm just thinking back to that thing they said about how great it is to be adventurers. You don't like it here? I can see a lot of pain and fear in the eyes around here. They have been in some bad places. They've been scared shitless. Having this job is secure. You're surrounded by powerful people. I can just tell, man, my mind has just recently been expanded for some reason. I just think that I can let's look in their eyes, man. Look in how haunted some of them are. He's going to try to use insight to try to find one of you that might have some real, like, your adventuring has not all gone well. If he succeeds, I'll ask one of you to come up with a good example, but only if it succeeds. He's like starts asking questions like, oh, tell me more. I heard this rumor, or tell me about that. So we'll see how well he does. He is, and I'm not giving him a bonus because of the drugs. He's kind of insightful. You also have gone through a lot of stuff. Like you as the party have gone through some pretty dark moments. There are some things to dig out. So I'm going to give him a +2 on this. I'm not sure if he's naturally the wisest person, so I can't give a +3. But with a +2 on top of the 4 that he has as his base, 3. So he's getting a +5, trying to make it 14. Oh yeah, he finds some good stuff. With a 23, he succeeds by more than 5. Okay. Who here has got, what has happened around the table that you think he kind of digs out of you? Like one or two of you, like, yeah, he realizes that this happened, and then this actually is something that made my adventure kind of horrible compared to.
Yeah, but you could say this just proves what a terrible leader and what an uncourageous person you are. What's adventure without fear?
I appreciate you trying to turn it around, but just to give this guy, a victory.
The conflict that we had with.
Yeah, so this is where you're helping author the story. What is it? Just collaborate amongst yourselves. What is something that he finds out about that you think is the dark side of the adventure?
3 of our party were knocked out last battle.
If we really need something that's like bad, it's like they have to be revived.
Yeah.
This is the goal.
Yeah, the near-death circumstance.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
I reckon that probably the darkest part would have been being kidnapped at the start of the adventure. That would be the darkest, like...
Well, but see, that was before your adventure, so I think that's a great point. But this, like, even after you leveled up and you were confident you went into this thing, like, you nearly got killed by a bunch of goblins protecting some elves. So the reason that's maybe more telling is, like, this is after you became adventurers, like, it's still managed. So what do we think? Do we think the near-death experience, the carriage ride?
Yeah,
what
3 of us going down. I think that's a good thing.
Yep. Near-death experience?
Okay.
Who here, just, it doesn't mean more, who here didn't have a near-death experience? Who was doing death saving throws?
Oh, no.
No.
Or who went down?
Nobody was doing this.
Well, you were about to.
We revived.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but you were down.
I was doing that.
Yeah, who got to 0 hit points at
Me.
some point?
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah. You're 0, yeah. You zeroed out. He digs that out of you. He gets an extra point. But I just don't. Ooh, it's not. He got one back. It doesn't quite double it. Thank goodness. All right. So after all this is over, this debate, you have won the day. You have gotten what you want. The Reds are going to leave you alone. You didn't do an overwhelming victory where they become your allies. There's a couple nice points they made. You did very well, and it's hard to get a high success here. But you did a very good job. Awesome stuff. Okay, so I'm writing all this stuff down, and this will affect their stance going on. And that is the RP battle. You get XP for an RP battle, by the way. You don't have to kill things to get XP. This is a level 3 scenario. I realize that some of you might be level 2, but you get the benefit of this anyway. So this is 75 XP, the same as an easy encounter. So you weren't in physical danger, but it took some time. So it's like an easy encounter when it comes to XP. got a little bit richer as well. A lot of these red idiots, they just decide to leave. I think I'm just going to take a little walk around. They definitely feel like their tail between their legs, kind of thing. Like, oh man, yeah, I've got my real doubts. Like, yeah, I think these guys are going to be trouble. So a lot of them kind of drift off, and the ones that are there, they don't want to mess with you. They respect you too much. They fear you too much. You think that if you hadn't done well, you'd have like new enemies at your back as you go to the door, but now you realize like, okay, they're not gonna attack you. They're too scared of you. And now it's time to check out the door. So you get to the other side. Ta-da.
What can we do about that mirror before so no one sees us coming through?
Yeah, so that's the next question. So this is Act 3, please, on the slide. We do the next slide. What is the twist? So this door and this mirror shard, yes, obviously set up to make it very hard to openly attack. The iron door itself has this weird handle on it. And you have to play with it to figure you weren't able to get close. So it doesn't seem like a normal doorknob. And it's very clear that that red mirror would look at whoever is there and give a very clear view of it. But it's like a surveillance camera. Covering it up would also look suspicious. Someone's looking through. So is there something that you can do to somehow plausibly disable, distract, try to get through here where they don't know that 8 adventurers are coming in? Maybe they think it's one person, maybe they think it's somebody they know, or even so, they don't see you coming. What's a way to mitigate this? We've got a few minutes to figure it out.
Yeah. Can we send Emerald to?
You get Emerald to open it?
Sure. I mean, Emerald doesn't seem to be known to any of these guys, and he looks a bit like an adventurer. Like you took him on, so you actually added him on because he's actually kind of useful in battle. In whatever upcoming battle, he actually is able to act. So he doesn't look a whole lot less adventurous than you. So as far as a threat goes, he's probably almost a threat. And he might help a bit, but not sure about that.
Has anybody got a mirror on them so we can put it in front of the red mirror and just like have almost a fake image going into it?
So we want to. It's like a security camera. We don't want to trigger anything. We want to look like nothing's happened. So
it's flat against the wall, so like you can actually get really close to it by staying flat against the wall. You can get quite close to it, and you'd think it can't see you. It's just like imagine there's a hole in the wall that somebody's looking through. Unless they're really looking at an angle, you can get close to it. But the door is like several a few tens of feet away. There's no way to not be visible at the door.
Or some sort of screen to put in front of it, and we could like take a snapshot of that screen and put it in front, so it looks like we can get behind it, and it's like a fixed image.
Yeah. I'll give you a couple of minutes. Yeah, keep answering for a couple of minutes before you have to make a decision.
Is it possible to get the silvers who are left to make a big commotion? So there's lots of people moving around, and it's hard to tell one person from another.
Yeah, I didn't draw them.
And then in all that kind of commotion, we can slip in, and they won't have seen.
I was going to say
the room is
just like
the room is a bit this ditch, this terrace.
Yeah,
it's a bit L-shaped. So first of all, the red mirror isn't really looking in the same direction as where the stage is over here, and it's quite a distance away. So they're all kind of sticking over in this area. Even if they have a lot of commotion, maybe you could hear through it. Whoever's there can hear, but it seems like it's kind of a noisy room already.
So where's the door? The door.
Yeah, the door, like the door's there.
And mirror's right.
Yeah, the mirror is like looking sideways at it. So like whoever's staying there
Could be colour mirror, or with that.
So come up with your best idea, and after a minute or two, we'll go with your best idea.
Well, I've just been tried to be bribed by a bunch of the Reds. Maybe I can give them their money back and tell them that we will be saving them, but we just need to get inside. And if they can just kind of hang out in the corner, here's your 30 silver back.
Yeah, accidentally like put their back against it so you can't see through.
Is it
Do it nonchalantly.
Yeah.
We believe in you. You're in danger now. We'll try and help you out if you can just do
One
that.
other thing.
Here's something for your troubles as well.
We definitely want to get in and close the door, like nothing happened. Like we don't. If the door's open, then they'll trigger it.
So as you sort of, let's say I'll sort of comment on some of these things. Yeah, the people that you bribe, they're like, no, like they only let you in like if you found a chaos shard and you're one of us. Like you're not on the roll. They don't know who you are. You're not on the payroll. Yeah.
Can we wear some?
What, you have a chaos shard?
Clothes?
Yeah. So you can see he sees that chaos shard. Well, but you're not like signed up. Like you for all they know, you're here to attack them. I mean, they're looking through that thing. They can see.
Can we dress up like the Reds? Is there enough of them there that we could get their red and black clothing so that we look like them?
I'm just going to
Would
try
that
and
let us in?
convince them again that I'm an inspector
Mhm.
because I have a permanent advantage.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
whoever's
just-
on the other side of the mirror that you're inspector, perhaps, or the idiots, right?
The idiots, so that they'll
Yeah.
stand in front of the mirror, so it gives enough time for us to open the door.
Okay. All right.
I just realised as well, I am
Or we could try
Still-
and convince them to open the door for us.
I still have my blur spell active, so I could blur myself to make myself less visible.
What
or,
spell?
Or somebody
Blur
else.
spell? When did you cast
Blur.
that? Mm.
So it is me. I can't cast it on somebody else.
When did you cast that one?
Sorry.
When did
Is
you
it
cast
active or
it?
do you have it?
I have it to cast.
Oh, yeah, it's
I
cast.
have
Yeah,
it to
I see.
cast.
Okay.
So my body becomes blurred, shifting and wavering to all who can see me for the duration. Any creature has
Mhm.
disadvantage on attack rolls.
Mhm,
I don't
mhm.
know if it's
You might
enough.
want to keep that though.
Yeah.
And we could ask them what their names are and that sort of thing and assume their character to put ourselves on the roll through, if they
The
believe
ones
it.
who are leaving.
Could we also try and get the red people to ask them to send other people out so that they'll have to open the door and then we ambush them and get in that way?
Yeah, it's a good idea.
I don't know if
Okay.
that can be
So time's up for your brainstorm. What is the best idea that you think that you all think you're going to do?
I think we should use the reds because I think we've earned their respect.
Mhm. Yep. Get the red idiots to sort of ask their way in.
I did like your idea of doing the whole inspector role again
To get them
to open the door from the inside.
Maybe I
Because
take
you
a
got
couple of
advantage
the,
on that
take a couple of the reds up
with you.
after somebody intimidates them,
Yeah.
like the fighter or something intimidates them, and then hold them up and say, hey, I'm make out that I am an inspector.
Yeah.
These guys would be doing the wrong thing. We need to punish them. Send
Yeah, for
people
sure.
out.
You're like walking
Oh,
like
okay.
authoritarian.
Send someone, we need to punish
Like-
them, send someone out, and then we ambush them.
Are we actually trying to ambush this point, or we're just trying to get inside and we don't know?
Yeah, ideally
Get into a
you're
battle
going to get
without-
inside without them being battle ready
Yeah, I
inside.
don't think we want to start
But if they're
fighting too quickly. We want to actually.
Well, it may bring them for
Yeah.
punishment, might not activate them like,
Yeah.
we're
Yeah,
glittering
or
as we
like
deal with. Yeah.
the people that come out and we just knock them out.
And we
They're gonna
could, we
be-
could be new adventurers who are turning up. You know how you were saying at the beginning that
Mhm.
there are new adventurers coming and they go in and stuff.
Yeah, so the idiots say, well, if you're on the roster and you found a chaos shard, they'll let you in, but you're not on the roster. You're not signed up. They know who's working for them. But what you do is you use this inspector thing since you're so good at it that you might be able to fool them
Might
along
be able
with
to
devices.
convince them.
You should
We
take.
could
You
use
should
that.
take
You gotta have these people on
I
the
think
roster.
you-
What the hell's going
Yeah,
on here?
yeah,
I think
something
this
like that.
girl, let's
Right,
sort
yeah.
the roster
I'm
out.
thinking that you
Yeah.
should take like us, like two of us, two really sneaky people, and like you throw us forward, looking at the mirror, trying to tell us to open it. As soon as you open it, we're like right there.
these people have been causing trouble, so who am I going to take? Yourself?
Plus
You're the
plus-
sneakiest
Yeah,
of
I'm
us.
really sneaky.
Okay, yeah.
I'm sneaky.
Who else is sneaky? Not sneaky? Okay.
So who was going to open the door? But how does the
They'll
door
open,
get
from,
open?
they'll open it from the inside when they send. I'm going to try and convince them
Okay.
to send a couple of people out, probably low level, just shit
Yeah.
kickers.
Hopefully idiots.
Hopefully, just a step above the idiots we've been talking to.
Yeah.
And then when I throw Derek in and whoever else, maybe one of the fighters.
Okay. All right. I know how this is going to play out. I think I got a plan. We'll stick with that. All right. Okay. Cool. So,
prepare for a spell.
so what?
I'd be ready to cast a spell.
That's initiative. So once initiative happens, if you're fast on initiative, you'll cast your spell.
Okay.
All right.
Matt
We'll
comes
take a break pretty soon on this. So I'll just draw a little bit of a map here. So this is recreating what happened over here, right? So you've got the red mirror, can kind of see this sort of area here. Here's the door. The room is big here. You're not sure it's on the other side of the door.
We're coming this way.
Yeah, so you're going this way. So put your figurine there? Just put your own figurine.
Yep. And to help with this, I'm going to look at Ebert's arm to get the right glyph. And then I'm going to write it on a piece of paper so I can show them the glyph.
Oh, okay. All right. So and you're
that's
you're right nearby, like you're using his body because you're a halfling. You can actually hide behind him that way. Okay?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
we'll
yeah.
see how that goes. Okay,
You can
good.
see that like he's like dragging someone, but
Yeah,
you
yeah.
don't know.
Right. Yeah. So you're using it. So you think that you might be able to pass yourself off as one of them. Okay. So you go up and stand there. You can now see the red mirror fragment, and you can see some figures. You see like sort of like a bed or a lounge or something, and you see this big guy dressed in red armor. It looks more powerful. It looks like one of the Shriners basically. and he's not looking at the mirror fragment right away, and the door is right in front of you. The only thing you know to do with the door is you can knock on it or you can lift that handle. What do you do? To get the attention out of the inspector.
Knock on it.
Okay, so you knock on the door. So the guy obviously hears, and you can see he sits up. He's got leather armor, but there's a hole cut in his leather armor, and it's got this like messy scar that's right over his heart that's sort of exposed by it. And he just looks like massive, like sort of steroid jacked kind of guy with a big mace on his shoulder and a big crossbow. And he goes up, and is like, "Who the fuck are you?" So he's basically trying to pass off as the inspector.
What do you mean, who the fuck am I? Who the fuck are you? I told you about who the inspector is?
Okay, good. You roll with advantage, I believe, on this sort of thing. Okay, all right. He's like, I didn't think the inspector was coming yet. Like, you're not supposed to come until, like, next month or so. You happen to have lucked out, but, like, you definitely got him going. He's like, what are we supposed to do? What do you want to do? What's happening?
It's a snap inspection. I'm here to check out who's doing the right thing and who's useless.
Oh, fuck, okay. All right,
Found some useless people.
Well, okay, hold the handle, that's fine. So he's saying, hold the handle. What do you do to the door?
I say, you expect me to come and hold the handle and open this door? Open it for me.
If you're an inspector, you know the protocols. Like, I don't have to call rank on you, dude, but you know that you have to hold up the handle. You go in first. That's just rules. I'm following the rules the inspectors want us to follow, sir.
That's a silly sir.
This. then I glare back at him, and then I hold the handle.
Yeah, so you raise the handle. So there's this tick, 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 and it just seems like a mechanic sort of clicking. You feel like a sort of vibration through the handle. But he's like, yeah, it takes a minute. So he's like, hey guys, get ready. There's an inspection. Yeah, stop doing that. Just get ready. Just fucking clean that up. Do that. He's basically commanding things. It's like, just wait. This one takes a minute. You're not sure what he's talking about. He's like referring to the door. And it seems normal to him that you're sort of standing there for a while. During that minute, if there's anybody else sort of doing anything, imagine you're all kind of milling around here. Are you all nearby? We don't have to put your chips on the board. You're hidden, right, using that bulk, but the rest of you kind of like out of sight of the mirror eyes.
Yeah. I'm getting uncomfortable about the
tick.
So I want to investigate the door quickly to see if it's a bomb or something.
Sure.
Wrong.
Yeah, you can't figure out, knowing what I know about your skills, like the way I rolled, you can't figure it out. You don't smell cordite, it doesn't seem like there's oil or anything like that. And he seems to just it seems a matter of course. Your insight sort of tells you like this is just the way things work.
I feel like it's more like a spike. You're going to get like stabbed or something.
Yeah.
It's just the way that
I'd like to drop
sophisticated locks working. Yeah, no, you'll be wrong.
I get angry.
It's up to you.
If you drop it, we're not getting it.
What's wrong?
I'm sick of waiting for this. This is ridiculous.
It was only going to be like another 10 seconds, bro. It's like I can't do anything about it. It is regulations. You've got to hold the handle up for the full minute. That's just the way it fucking works.
And so I get one of the. All right. Well,
Don't
you've been
you see
useless
me
so
holding
far.
this hostage?
One of the-
Or are you weak? Actually, it's a
one of
really
the guys-
strong sort of spring. Like, are you so weak? Like, why can't you hold it up, bro?
Shut up, you. And I say to one of the guy that I'm holding is one of the reds.
Yeah,
that I
one of
brought
the reds,
over. You've been useless so far. Hold up the door.
I was like, fine. It's like he
He
seems
did
to have no
something
problem.
by
It's
himself.
like that. So he holds it up. So now you're sort of like back this way, right? But you're still visible, and you got one of them there. Like, so tick this thing. Sort of like, it's like, I don't know why you couldn't do this yourself. It's fine. Okay, it's all right. So tick the thing, then clunk, and the door swings open. He sort of scurries out of the way. Says, okay, it's open. You said hold over for a minute. I thought you would know that as the inspector. So he slinks away.
Who says I didn't know that?
You see a corridor that ends in another iron door. Now, it's just you, and with Derek, and I've seen how that, so you can walk through. The problem is the others coming through, right? So what are the rest of you going to do? First of all, are you going to walk through?
No, I've opened the door and I'll send you guys out.
No, you go through the second door, bro. Then you got to close this. This is a test. This is a test. Okay, regulation number 14, right? This is a basic kind of airlock style door. You and I'm expecting only you, because this is one inspector, you only one at a time, please. You come in and shut the door behind you, and then you can open up the other door. And he recites a bunch of regulations. It's like, this is a test. I think I fucking passed the test, man. I'm like,
check if he actually knows it.
But you can tell he's getting impatient. You think you might blow this, but you don't act with confidence at this point. So you kind of have a choice. You can stroll through, Dewey says, but then you would be alone with Derek in this corridor, and then this door presumably will open, is what he's saying, and then who knows on the other side, and all these people will be left out here. Or you could all kind of rush through. But you'd be seen on the mirror, which is still active. Well, what's the problem? What's the problem now? He
You could go
says.
through and then.
I'm happy to go through.
Yeah, let's go through by ourselves.
Yeah.
Well, why
and
don't you
then
say, look, Regulation 27, which is the brand new one that you don't know about yet, means that I and all my inspector assistants need to come through together in order to ensure that we check all of this out.
You want to give that a go?
Yeah, I'll give that a go.
Okay, let's roll this one open. This is deception.
This could be
Okay.
like, if these people make it through, then you have a faulty door.
I'll give a +1 on your deception for that. Okay, so do deception with that with +1. That's a great line. Okay. See if you can fool them thinking about it. No, you have to have multiple inspectors come through, even though it's regular
So I still have advantage because I'm trying to make some. Oh no, this isn't one of the idiots.
Yeah, no. Well, first of all, it's fine. It would work against him, but you're using deception here. You're not basically pretending you're an inspector. You're pretending there's a regulation that doesn't exist. It's deception. All right.
What is it?
It's not good enough. It's a
No,
7.
yeah, it's not really good enough.
Okay.
It's like, that is bullshit. Like, what kind of inspector are you? You fucking do this? Like, I'm starting to get awful suspicious, bro. Like, this does not smell right. So you feel like it's time to basically piss or get off the pot. You got to either both get in alone, or everybody rushes in and they'll know something's up. But if you rush in, they'll have a round or two to react.
I'd say
At least the door's open.
All right, I just ignore the guy in the mirror.
Group who wants to rush? Raise your hand if you want to all rush
Yeah,
in.
you know
Come
nothing
in.
about it. We're all coming in together.
Yeah, raise your hand if you want to all rush in together.
Yeah.
Yeah, raise your hand if you want to all rush in together as a group vote.
No.
Or leave these two on their own.
You two in.
So
Keep-
it's either
keep
leave
the
those two
deception
alone on the
going.
other side of the door, or everybody rush in at once. So on 3, you're going to raise your
I
hand.
think Darrican would like to go with just you and me. That's what
I'll go with. I'll hold off on saying that because I'm 50-50 and I was the one that did the bad roll. So whatever everyone else votes.
Well, you've got advantage, so you can convince him
I
when
don't
you're
really.
inside.
Not right.
Not
right,
Yeah,
not
he's
right
not
now.
pretending to be an inspector,
He's
but like
pushed
he's gotten called on bullshit.
He's
Like
pushed it.
he's gotten called. You can tell that there's real impatience in this guy's voice. Like the deception might have changed things, but this thing, like you're trying to make me believe that more people were coming in. That's bullshit. Like I don't trust you. So yeah, the story's starting to go sour.
There's still another door to get through, like if they know we're all coming. Are we going to be able to even get through
You
the
can get
second
through it.
door?
Yeah, that's my concern too.
I know the answer, but you don't.
I think you guys need to.
He did say, you know how this works, like an airlock style
I
door.
think we
When
need
the
to
other door is
keep it
closed, the
going.
other door will open.
Okay, let's
so
keep it
I hear the reluctance there. All right, you passed the tests.
There is no new protocol.
There is no new protocol.
You're sort of whispering, there's no problem.
Fine, we'll do it by the book.
Okay, that
So
means
we
you're
go-
going to go in alone?
Go in, just
Yep.
us two. Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Well, once again, still hidden. Yeah. Let's see.
Well, he thinks you're one of the idiots, doesn't he?
You're taking a red with you, Martin.
Yeah, I'm taking
Yeah.
another.
Yeah.
Yep.
Reds.
Okay. So, you, Derek, and one of the Reds in any particular order, just line up at that door as you get in. What order are you standing in as you go in? First of all, step 1. This door itself, needs to be kind of held open, and you heard like this door needs to close for that one to open or be openable. So,
Yeah.
close that door behind you.
Derek, do you want to hold the get by the other door so that you can open and let everyone in quickly if need be?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
This door has a handle on its side, but also just some sort of mechanism, like a combination mechanism of some sort.
Back, yeah.
If you need
So a
to-
handle similar to one on the outside, but also a combination mechanism.
You might be able to sleight of hand it all.
I have-
What do you think things? So you
I
stay
have
by that
pretty
door.
good sleight of hand, yeah.
And then we come in. Do I notice any other mirrors or any other things that can see us in this?
No.
No. Cool. Then I get the other guy
Once we go through.
that I'm bringing in to lift up the other door.
Okay. All right. So this other guy goes through. Derrican, you are back here. Yeah.
By the other door, so you can open.
By the
it
door
for
you came
everyone
through.
Yes, am I still hidden or am I seen now?
Well, there's no red mirror in here, so
Okay.
you're not.
So he's kind of
seeing.
seeing like two
Yeah,
people
it's-
go in and he's just seeing the door.
Yeah, and essentially dark in here. I mean, there's light coming from this direction. There might be light coming the other
Yeah.
direction, but while the doors are shut, it's essentially dark. There's light coming under the crack of the door, maybe dim light.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're holding this door open, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So this guy was like, it doesn't open. Like that. That door has to be closed,
Oh, no,
before
I
this
don't
door
want to
opens.
have it. Hold it open, but I
No,
don't
close
want
it.
You're gonna close this?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so that door closes with a click. All right,
Yeah.
you just take a look at that. And then there's a little trunk on this side. And he's like, should I open the door now?
Yes, open the door.
Okay, so he opens the door. All right. We'll be taking a break soon, but I'll paint. Well, I'm not sure where to take the break because there's some interesting stuff. So this door swings open as soon as you do it. It swings open, and you can hear it like bang against sort of the wall. And there's like a click, like this door is sort of locked open. Like it swings and it goes click against the other side, revealing a large room, which I will draw during the break. But just imagine there is a bunch of boxes of various sizes here. So there's sort of there's a bunch of columns. I won't draw them out because I need to break in order to do that.
Yeah.
So you can see this many. These are wooden columns that go from floor to ceiling. The ceiling's about 10 feet up. There's a red brick floor. All this is red brick floor, and that's all you can see from this point of view. There's several columns back there, and you see that same guy. He comes basically at the end here. I haven't got my pieces ready because I usually do that at the break, but let's just call him there. I'll replace him. So he shows up at some distance, and he's like, "What so-called inspector? Like this is awfully suspicious, bro. You get your ass in here. Like, I would need to talk to you. You lied to me about some sort of fucking regulation. Come on in here." So this door seems firmly shut. This door is open, and he is saying, "Come in here."
So I want to move into that room
Yep,
and then
sure.
shut the other door.
Yep. So you turn around. This door is like you can't shut. This door does not shut. This does not pull. Like this door is stuck.
I think I would like to be following you at that point.
Yes.
So we'll try and
Still
open
kind
that
of
door.
like
In here, there's bright light. So, like, you see that there are sconces. It's weird. Like these wooden columns, they a lot of them have like sort of fake sort of paintings painted on them or bits of wallpaper. Like there's the brick floor has like little carpets and stuff. It's almost like it's an imitation sort of house in some way, like a badly decorated house or like a stage of a house. Up ahead, there's above at these intersections you're seeing are ceiling sconces, like chandeliers, like gas powered, with the tubes and stuff. That's brightly lighting this area. You do not have dim light if you go in here. Also, you see on the sides of some of these columns are like weird mechanisms. There's black chains that are all crisscrossing the ceiling, and they're sort of moving and rattling. You can see that some of the chains are feeding down into each of these wooden columns, and then it's also rattling in time with it is this sort of complicated sort of gearbox. It's got like kind of gears and switches on it. It looks like some sort of mechanism that is connected. You see a chain running through it. You can only guess that the boxes on these things are connected to the chains up there. There's all these like slits and holes and the various wooden things. Like you see slits at various heights and holes at various heights, and it all kind of banged up. So you can't make any sense of it in the few seconds that you have. All you know is this door won't close. This door still seems firmly closed. You can stay in the dim light while you're here.
Stay in dim light.
Yep. But once you get out here, it'll be bright light, so
Yeah.
you can't go in there. And he's saying, "Come here."
I think while we know that he's distracted and he's not looking at the mirror, can we not try and? Because we
No,
know
the door
that
won't
door
open.
handle. we don't
Ah, okay, yeah. So
know.
you might try the same
Follow
trick.
through, yeah.
Mm.
Well, we know that you're distracting him at that stage.
Okay.
And what do we see when we look through this mirror?
Uh,
Is that any different
you
then?
can't because you can't look through it without being seen yourself,
Yeah.
right? So it's a two-way thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're willing to, that's fine, you can go here. But he seems to be stepping towards you. When you saw him, he was like sort of sitting up on a bed of some sort, and he's walking someplace that the background looks totally different when you saw him. You're guessing that if this red mirror fragment is fixed somewhere, you don't see it in his hands, you don't see it anywhere else in the room, maybe he's walked away from it.
Maybe
Because he's basically calling you out. He's like walking up to you.
Yeah.
So you might have him distracted.
So if you guys do that, I can't know that you're doing that, but
Yeah, that's
the
right.
whole
Yeah.
thing was about distracting, so
Okay.
I can just continue with the ruse.
Yes, as an inspector, I have many things to say. You basically say, now you're surrounded by columns, I'll draw those later on, and he comes up to you. Again,
think,
he's got a massive mace and a
As
massive...
you lead me, I'm gonna say keep your distance, just distract him.
yeah, he sort of
but-
keep him distracted.
But,
Yeah,
keep,
so you're
but
back.
keep your distance from him so he doesn't quite, get within 20 foot of you, so he can
Right.
really see who you are.
Oh,
Yeah.
Is it possible?
He wants to walk, that might be your intention, but he does sort of walk up to you, he kind of gets in your face, he's sort of just puffing out his chest. And he's like, yeah, let me inspect this so-called inspector. But you start laying your bullshit down. Now you're back to acting like an inspector. So this is where you might succeed in spinning out the amount of time. Yes, there's still the twist. Yeah. So sorry about that. We'll change that after the break. But let's sort of fast forward a bit. So you're here. You, meanwhile, you all can take a chance. You don't worry about, oh, my character wouldn't know that. As a player, I know what's happening, but as a character, I don't. Remember, you can constantly, like how you saw Murr doing his thing, you have a vague idea of what's going on, right? So don't worry too much about metagaming. So you having some idea of what's going on, what would you all do? Do you go in and start holding the handle to get in? Because you think that after a minute, he'll let you in?
Because I know that he's just discussing.
All right, Godwin,
do
you have a chip that represents you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right.
Oh, that's a brown one as well. Put this one in.
Okay, cool. All right. Very good. Good selection. Okay, so Godwin and maybe the others, you're starting to get like you're getting ready to get in. So do any of you mind being visible? I mean, it's in for a penny, in for a pound.
No, I don't mind being.
Okay. So as Godwin, you lift it up and all that stuff, and you you hear that on the other side, and you manage to sort of like you have a vague sense, and so you start being really loud, right? It's like because as soon as the handle goes up, there's like this tick, tick, tick. It's pretty loud, but just that time you're like, yes, I'm inspecting your mechanisms here, and it's actually quite loud in this room, you know. So if you just kind of keep hitting the chains and things, you're sort of covering up the sort of ticking sound. You think a minute later this door is going to open, and you're going to be able to get through, and you start having the bullshit conversation with them. This is going to be a very important deception, or not deception roll, pretending to be an inspector roll, which, you know, is maybe charisma. You have advantage. What's the skill that you're good at that you have advantage on, you think? Your advantage is based on skill.
So I'm trying to, as I bullshit to him,
Yeah.
ascertain from his answers through
Yeah.
being insightful enough to know what to say next, like a charlatan.
Okay, yeah. So if you like an insight, it's based on insight. Okay, yeah. See what sets them. All right, I'll believe that. So roll insight with advantage, and this is an important one. Ooh,
A
1
1
and a 10.
and
Okay.
a 10. 10 plus 5 is 15.
Okay. 15 is usually good. Let me look up this guy's stats. It's gonna be close. And also, this determines not just whether it's but how long you're able to keep this up. Let me look up his stats, and this will matter. What is this guy's wisdom?
God, he let me down with the other ones.
I didn't.
That's what got me into this mess.
All right. As this inexorable minute goes by, and you're starting to sweat a little bit, like you feel like you're kind of losing the grip on it, but time is passing. You manage to keep him talking. While this happens, there are a few other guys, not as powerful as him, that start appearing. You know, they're elsewhere in this room. I'll lay that out. But this room has got several of these, you know, fairly strong-looking Shriners. Maybe not the most powerful types, but they definitely look like a notch up more than the idiots out here. Again, very well armed. And he's like, yeah, boys, just keep your distance, but you keep an eye on this one. Like, I'm not sure, but maybe I think he's an inspector. I don't know. It's like, well, are we being inspected or not, boss? It's like, shut up! And so it's basically spinning this out. It falls apart about 10 seconds before this door goes. So we're going to have one round after this where he realizes that you're bullshitting him, and you become his enemy. But you're going to have to survive so one round. His buddies are not around him yet. But it's going to be you and him up against each other. You're going to be back here when you realize, okay, the jig's up, and you got to realize you got to like break your stealth or fire from being hidden. Mm-hmm. And there's going to be one round of survival, and then these guys are going to be able to rush in, and they're going to have to go some distance. That's what we'll do after the break. I'll draw this out, lay it on out. Remember to take a break here, talk amongst yourselves, talk tactics. I won't be able to talk to you very much because I'm going to be drawing this out. So you're going to have a fight where it's started a little bit shaky, but tactics. These guys are military. They can shoot and they can use maces in a sort of a close environment. Think of what you're going to do.
No.
All of you who are here,
no,
put your chips anywhere on this side of the door.
I'm hoping to go solo, if that's okay.
Yeah.
With
Derek,
everyone.
and you're here. We'll imagine that you're solo. You don't have a pair, but your pair will have to catch up to you. So if you're paired with someone, just get together as fast as possible. They can catch up to you. Who are the pairs? Are you two paired? Or and remember,
Well, we're both fighters, so maybe
yeah,
we
that's
should
right.
split
Yeah, it's
up.
good to have like a tank and a squishy together because the fighter can decide to tank, so the fighter can take both shots basically.
I think, sorry, what's your name again?
Davey.
Davey? Yeah.
Well, Gale. His character's name is
Yeah.
Gale.
I think I'm going to go with you eventually.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you're considered a pair. Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is
Who are you
sneak
paired?
attack.
Who are you paired with? Who else are the pairs? Who else are
I
you
don't
pairs?
Go on your own.
Yeah, I want to go the solo.
But you're solo.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So that means
very
it's
thankful
got to be up to
using
Yeah. So yeah, like
Well, like you guys
you
can-
two and you.
So we're going
All the
together.
Yeah.
the elven,
Yeah.
the elven
So
fighting pair.
yeah. So yeah. So yeah, Dell and Archie, right? Yep. And Tulip and Gawain.
Are you going to be firing things?
Yeah.
Huh?
Or going?
Yeah.
Sound right?
Personal
That's pretty good
fire?
I'm
pairing.
gonna fire it
Okay.
first, seeing as depends what
Put
he
your
does,
chips
Then
down
save it
here,
now, 'cause I'm gonna be
and
close
I'm going to
but-
number
Yeah, and then I'll get close and personal.
you. So
It's
Mur,
just
put
'cause
a
I'm
1
guessing
by
I'm
wherever
gonna
you
do
are.
my-
Next to the white.
Like maybe the first round. I'm
The
gonna
second
do
pair is
Oh, yeah?
Archie. Put that next to your pair. It's number 2.
With
Does that
Gawain,
make
your
sense?
pair. So whatever.
Dell, what do you want?
Your pair
I'm
number is
just
3.
straight away.
3-1.
I'm going to say the name.
Next to you.
Yeah.
Where do you want to go? Are we
I'm gonna be
are we
a
inside
bit-
the room now?
No, you're all lined up outside here.
How about if I
I think you
I could-
probably should.
I can still have a bonus action.
Where
so
is
I can
my F
actually
for
dash
4?
up to you. And then I'm running.
You need to pay with somebody. And look at the side.
Yes.
You wanna pay with
that?
that?
Oh,
I can dash as a bonus action.
Share with somebody that's going to be in the lead because I'm really in the
Okay,
lead.
well, do you want to go with Archie? I'll go with Derek.
We've
Okay,
got
well,
you
I'll
back
call you
anyway.
5.
I've got
So
you,
Derricken,
Arch,
well,
and
Gale
he's
is
got a
number
big
5, so
empty
he's your pair.
spot
Your
right
pair number
there,
5.
And I'm really good with
You're
the
1,
Are we
so-
changing
I'm not-
anything?
Yeah, I would need to be with the melee fighter.
Okay. Do
So
I
you
be?
guys get it together because you.
Alright. We are changing things. So.
Okay, that's fine.
So I'll go with you then.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Okay.
fine. Fine. Okay,
So-
so
So
that's fine. Let's redo this. So we have 1, 2. Who are you paired with?
Am I going to try and get to you? Am I?
Well, can we be paired up? Because
Yes.
We're not going to be anywhere near each other to start.
Yeah, you just have to have a good faith effort to get close together.
Yeah,
before
I
we
will
go.
do
So-
like a dash.
Yeah.
Give my first action.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, just, optimize yourself, but just try not to attack targets he's not targeting. Just pretend that you're
Yeah.
interested in his targets. Yeah.
You've
Yeah,
got
yeah.
a tie.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm
Okay, so you are number 2. So put a 2 over there. So there's number 1 on you still.
Yep.
Put number 2 on your pair.
I'll
Who are you
put it
paired
on
with?
you.
Yep. Okay. Yep. So do you have a 3 on you already? Good. That already worked out. And then 5 is you two. Okay. So the 5, because I don't have a 4. The 5 is you. So put the 5 on Derricken or on you. It doesn't matter. Just you want to get together. Okay.
So do we have where's the
Where's the 5? Because I'll need it myself. Here it is. Put it on either one of your chips. Okay. All right. Let's see. This is important enough that initiative is probably going to matter quite a bit with this particular thing. So I'm going to randomly roll initiative for what's there. So you and your pair roll initiative and just figure out what is your average initiative, your average of your 2 initiatives. Remember, is a bonus on your dexterity. So your dexterity bonus.
21.
7.
19.
So 31.
13, but then we add
So
Yeah, figure out the average between
I'm
the 2.
plus 2, so
Plus-
you
plus
guys
thirty.
get
19.
I got 6.
sorry, so I'm 12.
So that's 25
Dexterity?
divided by
21.
2. So it's
Yes.
12.
So
12 and a half.
half.
Yeah.
So 16.
Round up, always round up. I don't know.
Total 16.
Yeah, 13.
I am 7.
I'm going to say, even though Imral will normally be a combatant, we're starting a little late. This is a bit of a complicated setup. So I'm going to say that Imral is for now paired up with an undetermined thug, right? One of these reds. And it might happen later on. There might be something that does that, but I'm going to remove one for now. And I'm going to take Imral, who is the house, and we're just going to say that they are doing their own thing. I'm not going to do a turn for them until it matters. Okay. And Rich. You're still figuring out your things. Please make sure you've got the proper initiatives. All right, so what is pair number 1?
18.
Okay. Pair number 1. All right. What's pair number 2's initiative?
13.
13. What's pair number 3's initiative?
12.
12. And what is pair number 5's initiative?
16.
16.
Yeah, that's
So we're going in that order. All right. And I'm going to roll their initiatives and we'll get started. This is your last chance to talk tactics while I set this up.
Okay, so
So
What would you like
Just
to
gonna-
do?
I'll use my bow, but I'll try and get up as soon as possible.
So we're going to rush
Try
in.
and
So we basically just want to pick a
who's that?
pick
Is
a
the
pair.
boss?
We both have a ranged
I mean,
attack, do we?
Yes.
so I'm going to
I
take
can
a
use
swipe at him. and then I'm going to.
I'll use sneak attack because I think this
You
is
turn it into a bear.
Do we have to stay close to each other?
Yeah, so do your best faith to always stay within 5 feet of each other, and most importantly, target the same target pair. So you're going after the same target paired together or single.
So that you can have flanking
Yeah.
advantage.
Just be cautious of disengaging.
He'll hit me, but I'll have
So
hopefully enough hit points to absorb.
the majority of stuff I have is from a distance.
Right.
In terms of what
Got
I
that.
can do.
Got that.
Um,
Oh, and that.
Is that
So-
reasonable?
Oh,
Or should I just
yeah,
say-
no, I mean-
Because otherwise these guys are going to get me. These guys are going to come back this
I mean,
way.
which pair do we want to
You've got a bit of cover,
May I see?
but
Sorry, probably number one. Yellow one.
You think number one?
No,
Because
no,
you're
it's
right
ready.
there.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm fine.
because they can move anyway, even if you
I
move.
get a sneak attack until.
So what does that mean?
Until I move.
I'm fine.
Okay, so that means they can't see you.
It means I do an
So,
extra
can I
2d6 damage.
1, 2, 3,
Okay.
4, 5, 6, 7.
And then, and
Yeah,
as
Three
like
feet of
spells.
movement.
So
Can
I
do that?
could-
Yeah, if I rage,
So I
I
can
could,
to myself so fluff
rage also good.
and
I
then
could
run away
hit-
back there.
try and hit him with
And
hideous
then I'll be-
laughter, which would make him prone. And then you could hit him with whatever.
Yeah, okay. Just,
Sorry, where
just
are
have
you
to
running?
manage to disengage. The
We're here.
reaction attack.
I basically get 3.
So they're incapacitated, unable
Where-
to stand
okay,
up.
Where are you
Ready.
running? Where are you? Did you say you were running back?
My strength race is
And
Would it be smarter to run into here so you're not getting attacked by these two?
so it
Thinking
makes
about
it.
too,
I
yeah,
think that
that's
means
probably
that
a
you
good idea. It's just that
hit it with advantage. I think that's
depends how much damage I can take, so I can probably attack the last.
yeah,
Just how much damage I can take, but then there's those, yeah, you've got a point.
What advantage
So I'll
just
run
means
into
I
And
get
if you run that, you're probably not going to get
Yeah,
attacked
I'm
by
not
these
sure if
guys.
that's what.
That's
What
what.
are the
Yeah,
You might
no,
get
I'm not
attacked
sure
by
if
these
that's
other
what-
ones, but
I was thinking that it would be best to
You do
get
get
attacked by.
advantage if you like.
I'm out of the way, these guys.
All
All right, get ready. That's all attackers we have time for. We're gonna
They
go.
right up where you guys are. So that's why it's going to come around
Like if
here.
I'm within 5 feet, you can cast it.
oh yeah. I
For
see
the
what
first
you mean.
round, everybody outside the door is stuck because shit fell apart a little bit too early because he had a borderline roll. But only one round. So this guy calls like, this is not Inspector, oh, this is bullshit, attack him! So we're going to go by the initiative of the thugs versus everybody else. So we're going to throw away number 1. So I know what the initiative of the thugs is. Number 1, you're stuck outside the door. Pair number 2, or pair number 5, you're stuck outside the door. Pair number 2, you are faster than the boss. So your initiative is higher than the boss and the other thugs. So you get to move first. That is probably a very important result.
One of us is stuck outside the door.
Yes, that's fine. So you can't do anything. You're just sort of, oh, let me in, coach, which means it's all you.
So, as my action, I'm going to wild shape into a black bear. And apparently,
What the fuck? It says.
Jiggers, and I can either, so I've got to roll 3d8 plus 6 hit points.
Okay.
3, 4, and an 8. Thank God for the 8.
Very average.
So
Okay.
12, so 18 hit points.
All right, so you track that. We now have a bear with 18 hit points. Is that an action or a bonus?
So that is an action.
Are they extra hit points, or is that just your hit points?
No, they're extra.
They're
when
extra.
when
Yeah,
I lose
they're
those,
like
I
an
go
attack.
back to my own
Okay.
18.
All right.
So I just double them.
Okay.
All right, so I go in his face, and I move away by going 1.
Okay. He takes an attack of opportunity as you do. Okay, that's fine. But keep moving.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay.
Is your move speed still the same?
No, it's more as well. Black bears can live 40.
Yeah, he pulls out his mace and bam, but it hits the ground just as you depart because he rolls only a 10. And you leg it with your little bare legs. He
It's a
does
cute
that.
little bear, is it?
He's like, yeah.
Ooh, the massive.
I was going to kill you as a fake inspector. I'm going to kill you as a fake inspector bear as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But he's not able to. So he's just going to run up and basically do nothing but dash. But he has to use his action to dash. So he's not able to take an actual action in order to reach you. But now he's stuck to you, getting ready. He's like, boys, he calls. And these guys start coming around. So get on the other side of him. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but can't quite make it. So again, has to get on the far side there. Of you. You're there. You're there. But Yeah, still 6 was there, so you are barely out of range. I don't know if you picked that deliberately, but this one had to do this. That had to do dash just to get close, but it seemed important. They start to distract each other. So like this guy, why are these guys here? Did I just move them?
No, they've been there from when you.
Oh, they've been there from the beginning. Okay, yes, that's right. Okay, fine. So yeah, on either side, they're fainting. It seems like they can distract you. This one now having buddies nearby is like, okay, bro, yeah, you duck low and I'll hit this bear high. These guys hit with advantage because they have something called pack tactics. And I have some more surprises. But this is a pair, but they have nobody else to attack, so they're going to stack everything on you. You're tanking it. These guys are attacking. This is number 1 attacking. First attack by the top one of the pair is an 8. As a bear, you skitter out of the way. Then you learn that these guys have multi-attack. When they attack, they get to make 2 attacks. And they always have advantage when they have a buddy. So you're going to take 4 attacks at advantage. Let's see if you can survive, bear. Second attack from the first guy is a 22. A mace thumps into you, bear, for 5 bludgeoning damage. Boom! The second one comes in also with advantage thanks to pack tactics. Wham! With a 21, gets past your hide, bear, for 8 bludgeoning damage. If that's all your HP yet? No! Okay, last hit by the last one with this mace. With advantage is a 23, bear. You take 8 points of bludgeoning damage. As I believe that happens, it downs the bear, and the leftover damage goes to him. So the great thing of the bear was a damage sponge. But now the overage is taken away from you.
What have you got left? Are you alive?
I'm just got scratch.
Yeah, so he's got scratched. The bear took all. The bear falls bar and he turns back into Gale. But Gale is only taking a little bit of damage, just the overage. So whatever that 8 exceeded the bear's hit points by gets subtracted from Gale as a man. All right.
Excellent.
Ouch!
This one hasn't moved yet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think they're going to cover. So this guy says, I hear clicking. There might be somebody coming in through the door. All right, I'll cover it. So he dashes over here, but he is not able to do anything. He pulls out his crossbow and is aiming this way, covering the door. And this one over here says, what's happening? He's alone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He says, just like he says, yeah, take, guard from the back. So 1, 2, 3, 4. He stops there and he pulls out his crossbow. All right. Now. Everybody else is stuck. You're stuck, or we 3 couldn't do anything. Then it was the you know that the pair number 3 you weren't able to do anything, but you were also faster than these thugs. And we go to the top of the round again.
What about you, Darren? Do you get to go? Because you're inside.
Oh, sorry, Derek, and you are number 5. Yes.
You gotta go.
Yeah, you get to go. This time I made you go too slow. Next time you'll be faster than the thug. So sorry for that.
Okay,
It's a little hard for me to track.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Okay.
Yeah, make sure you shout out. I make mistakes all the time, guys. So don't be afraid to call me on it.
Alright, well, I'm going to. I'm actually.
Come on, you gotta decide.
Yeah, sure.
Combat.
I'm going to cast Sleep, right? And
Ooh.
aim for 20-foot radius. So about here. And that should just about hit just the boss.
All right, so edging it, so hits just the boss and not hitting these 2.
I need
all right.
5.
Roll your
Is this
sleep.
guy as well?
No.
Well, if you're coming closer, would it hit? Is it because you can't? You don't want to hit?
So
What if you
how
cast
much
it
of a
over
radius
here?
is it?
Sorry?
How much of a radius is it? 20 foot?
20 foot.
Yeah, so if you pick that, it's 20 foot there, and it's 20 foot there.
If
So you'd be able to get
if
both.
You get this. You get these ones as well, wouldn't you?
Not quite. I mean, if I drew a 20-foot circle, it wouldn't be that boss.
So the boss and the guy behind.
Yeah, the boss and the guy behind are
Okay.
2 hit.
I want to hit just the boss. So I need
All right.
3
So hit the weakest ones first. Yeah. So you
Yeah.
can focus it just on the boss. So you make sure if his
just
vote,
on the boss.
it'll go to
Just
the
on the
weakest
boss.
one first.
What about somewhere here? Because then you can do this.
It's got to be a point you can see.
No, it's
You're a
the
little limited
weakest
there.
first. It will hit the boss last.
Yeah. So you want to have it just include the boss, so all the magic goes in the boss. If he goes it there, it'll be absorbed by the weaker one, and then only then what's left over goes to the boss.
You have to see.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
does.
see.
And you also have to see the point they're doing it. So
Yeah.
are you going to go just the boss or these 2? What's your choice?
Just the boss.
Okay, just the boss. Go for it.
Yeah. No,
Roll your.
three-
This is how many
3d8s.
points of hit points you can take out, and I'm looking at the hit points of the boss.
Got enough?
I need 2 more.
What do you need, sir?
I just gave you 3.
Yeah, cool. Sweet. 5, 8, what's that? 14, 17, 19.
19. That mention how big and beefy this boss is. This
Yeah.
boss is massively bulky. He hardly gets heavy eyelids. It does not affect him at all. No.
So cool.
Sleep is great for large numbers of weak creatures, but this is a big beefy boy. Your sleep is not powerful enough to take him down. So,
Am I
sorry
still
we skipped
hidden?
you, but we did all that. Let's just say you held your action, and now we're at the top of the order. Now that
Am I
everybody's
still
involved,
hidden?
what?
Or did this like just?
You can
drop?
move if you like.
No. But still, like, did this do anything? Like, did he know this me casting spell, or did he just go like?
It has a verbal component,
did-
so you have to reveal yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, when you're
Can you
casting a
hide
spell
again?
with a verbal.
Okay. Yeah. Then I want to use my bonus action to.
You have to be complete. So you're in dim light now. You have to be completely out of sight in order to hide. You don't have anybody to hide behind.
Okay. Is the door gonna open next round?
Well, yes, I've predicted that. Yeah, this door is
Okay.
going to be opening next round.
Cool. Well, I might just stay where I am at the moment.
Okay, staying where you are. All right, now to do my little pre-combat speech now that you're involved. This, as you might tell, is a big, crunchy, by-the-book combat. It's like a war game. It's where I shift into very much a tabletop wargaming thing. I give myself the right number of points for the right amount of challenge, and I'm going to try to kill you, my very best. We're going to follow everything pretty closely by the rules. This is a much more mechanical form of D&D, but it's a lot of fun. You're level 3 and level 2. Tactics start getting really important. This is a whole skill and a whole depth to D&D, which I hope you enjoy. But, you want to make smart decisions. Every round matters.
Couple quick questions.
Wait, let me finish my little bit here. I want to get a few things before I forget. There are a couple things that this teaches, because I like to sort of teach new things with every combat. First of all, you're dealing with a bunch of melee characters that can go after the best target, so you've dealt with that before. But you're going to learn how to deal with traps. How do you know? As soon as this door opens, the whirling, the chains that have been rattling here, it seems to activate. It's like some sort of klaxon system goes off, and out of the various gaps and holes and things in these wooden columns, every once in a while, a sword slashes out, a chain with a spiked ball on it flashes out. Sometimes there's a gout of flame in the distance. Traps seem to be firing off more or less, randomly in several different places. Like this whole thing seems to be like you don't know why, but it looks like this place is built to just do damage, and these bosses here, they seem to be avoiding certain spots. This is all to say, while you're in this room, you are vulnerable to some trap damage, basically some random trap damage, maybe with another monster that's distributed across here. And you'll be needing to do saving throws. How to deal with traps. So usually you can do something where somebody can specialize in disabling traps, right? Because they take away a threat. They might be good at disabling traps. Rogues are naturally very good at disabling traps because you have something called Thieves' Tools. You do have Thieves' Tools, I hope.
Yes.
So with Thieves' Tools, you use your dexterity, usually your dexterity, to disable that and just do it as a skill check. If you use your action to do so normally, but I'm going to give you all a chance to have a taste of this. There's something called a bonus action that every character can do. In a D&D turn, you get to move, you get to do an action, which is usually an attack or a spell, and you can use a bonus action. A bonus action, when it's on your character sheet on a spell, it has to mention bonus action. You can only do special, certain, limited things with your bonus action. Your second wind is a bonus action. Your cunning action to hide and to dash for rogues is a bonus action. You might have spiritual weapon or something as a cleric. Use that spell gets cast as a bonus action. Healing words, a spell you cast as a bonus action. But you can't do just anything. I'm going to add to all of your list one special bonus action, which is disable traps. I'm going to loosen it up a bit. None of you here has Thieves' Tools besides Derek and I, Sue. Nobody's trained in Thieves' Tools? Okay. You'll realize, as you get into this room, those mechanical boxes that are on the sides of these columns, they seem to be a way to control to turn traps on and off. Again, you're not sure why, but it seems like if you just figure out these machines, you can operate and hopefully turn off, not turn on, some of the traps as you're disabling it. So as a bonus action, if you're next to a part of the wall that nobody else has been to before, so you're moving from column to column or different sides, as long as you're on a different side of a different column, you can use your bonus action to try to lessen the traps. If you sort of do this enough times, the traps will slowly start to shut down, will become less dangerous. But you can still do your actions. I'm basically giving you a free bonus action to kind of get you hooked on the idea. You'll learn as you build your character that bonus actions are a really great thing to have in combat. They basically double your output. So as you level up and as you build your character and all that stuff, always look for things that use your bonus action, how to use that in combat. So I'll give that one to you for free.
And how frequently can we use that?
Once per turn. So use your bonus action once per turn. Just go to a side of a column that nobody's used before. I'll try to mark them off when they get used, and you can do that basically for free, unless you've got something else useful. You have other useful things to do with your bonus action, so you can't do both. You can use your bonus action for stealth or to disable a trap. You can use your action to disable a trap the same way, but you're probably going to be better at fighting than disabling a trap. It's up to you. Surprise. There is no surprise on either side. They had an idea of what was happening because that clicking. Well, I hear some clicking down here. One of the guys said. So there was no surprise round. The traps have their own initiative, and they are about to go now. So the traps are basically there's a random chance that any of you are going to get hit by a trap. Again, there's hardly anybody here. So unfortunately, it is you who are going to have to deal with some of the traps. You have to make a dexterity saving throw as a sword slashes out of a slit in the wooden wall right next to you, near the mechanism that could possibly shut it down, but you haven't been able to touch yet. Dexterity save. Oh no, you did not see that coming. Roll that. Ooh, okay. You take 6 slashing damage from this trap. Bad stuff. All right, fun. That was the traps initiative. Pair number 1, you can now do whatever.
Right. So
And think ahead. Pair number 5, you're next. So try to think ahead in your next move.
I held the door open and
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just cast Ice Knife.
Is that range?
Yeah.
Is it area?
Ah, nice. I can, because of your invocation, leave out friendlies, which is very nice. Okay.
Thank God.
So Ice Knife at the boss. Very good. He has a +2 on his AC because you're firing through somebody else.
Yep.
So I believe you have a spell attack bonus, and this compares to the AC of the boss. Again, he doesn't look very fast on his feet, and he's only got leather armor, but he's showing off. All these other guys have the same thing. They have the same kind of leather armor, and they have a hole showing off this messy scar, this long since healed wound on his chest. Woo! Okay, that's a good way to start. So, what is your damage against the boss as a result?
Is it double?
Yeah, everything you roll, all the dice, you roll twice.
That is awesome way to start.
That's a great way to start. That's for the entire fucking attack. That is a great way to do it. The dice
that's
friendly to you.
That's huge.
That's huge.
Give you
That's
some more
huge.
benefit.
What a time to roll a 20.
What do you need?
I need
D6s, right?
1d10.
Yep.
Sorry, this is the first one. Where's my D10?
Let's go. Let's do. Help him out.
D10.
So you got D10s you can loan.
No. That's that one.
All right.
That's 5, and
Yep.
then it's
All the dice you roll twice. So any
five.
dice you roll twice.
9,
Okay.
14 to the boss, and then they have a what is it?
Whoa!
There's a saving throw. that
Yeah,
you need to make.
Yeah.
dexterity saving throw.
Okay, so I'm going to look up their dexterity. I won't tell you what it is, but you'll figure it out eventually. How dexterous are they? Okay. What is your spell DC?
13.
Does the boss roll it as well?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, the boss saves. This pair, they'll suffer the same fate. This makes it a lot quicker. So these two, as a pair, they fail. Do your damage, and both of them suffer this damage. The
They
pair
fail.
does.
It is. Where is it? I'm going to say it.
It'd be.
2d6.
Is it first level?
Yeah.
You double those.
4, 9, 14, 16.
Okay, that is
Total.
against number 2, 16.
Thank you.
By this, those two are bloody. This explosion of ice cuts through their armor, and they start to bleed. That means they are halfway through their hit points with this one hit. Very good. So, psh, over there, and it leaves out as a 5-foot radius. So you've damaged 3 things quite handily. Good job. Okay, Murr, good start. Who's the other one in that pair that just went? Pair number 1. You're
Pair number
alone.
1.
Okay, the loner. Pair number 5, you're next.
There's us. Yes, so I'm going to go for. Let's see. I want to shoot my bow for number 1.
Okay.
For number 1. I'm going to ask if I have.
And remember, you have to. Sorry, yeah, you're number 2.
Yeah, cool. And let's see if we can roll.
Okay, I guess number 1.
Ooh, 23.
23 is plenty to hit number 1.
Now I definitely do. I know I get a sneak attack as well.
Ah, because you get an extra buddy. Very
So it's
good.
a 1D
Stack all that damage.
1d6. fix this one.
Six is the normal.
And besides, you're also, you were revealed, so you weren't hidden. But you could have done a bonus action to hide, and that would have been another way to get advantage. But you don't need it. You got a buddy nearby.
That's fine. And then, 2d6. So 7d6 plus.
Yep. All right.
And that is 9.
So that
And then that's another, so 15 damage.
15 damage? Really? Holy
Yeah.
cow. Because you rolled so your sneak attack damage?
Plus,
Yeah.
Yeah, plus this as well.
Yeah. What is that plus that you got over there?
3.
Yeah, 3, exactly. Yeah, so 9
right?
plus
Yeah.
3? It's 9 plus 3, yeah?
Yeah, so that's 12 then.
12, yeah. I thought 15 sounded a little high. Still a mighty hit. Okay, so another big chunk is taken out of this guy. He's bleeding copiously by this point. He's already bloodied, and this just makes it worse, but he does not drop.
And is a safe. Yeah, and I want to use my bonus action to actually bring myself forward.
Yep, so you can move for free.
Yeah, into the light there.
Yep. Which
So-
are you? You're number 1, yeah?
No,
number
five.
5, yep.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm
1, 2,
gonna
3,
move
4.
my-
You can maybe try to disable a trap. You get an attack of opportunity.
Yes, I would like to see if I can disable a trap.
Okay, because you haven't used your bonus action yet, you can do that.
One more?
Yep. You want to move over here?
Oh, hang on, I'm not going to be able to get there anyway, so never mind.
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna
Yeah, it's
just
chaos
try
in
and
combat.
disable
Let's
a
go
trap.
with that. Okay, now roll. This is Thieves' Tools. Use Dexterity plus your proficiency, so it's the same as, I don't know.
D20?
Yeah, D20 plus your Dexterity plus 2, which is your proficiency bonus.
Wait, so that was 17 plus my dexterity, you said?
Yep, 17. That's plenty. Yeah, that's good.
Whatever
You
it is,
have-
it's like a 25 or something.
Yeah,
like
so
that.
use your Thieves' Tools, and you quickly sort of take apart this machine, and like a gear pops out, and the traps start moving a little bit slower. There's a certain number of successes, and the damage will go down by big steps once you get enough successes. You don't know how many,
Do you know
you've
my
made
successes
progress.
or how much I have
You've made one success.
Okay.
Yeah, you've made one success with that bonus action. That was great.
Because I don't actually know how much I got there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you don't roll damage. It's just a binary success or not.
Yeah.
So you rolled high enough to get a success. If you roll super high, you can get 2 successes. But I don't think you got that. Okay, who was the other one in pair 5?
It wasn't sleight of hand, was it?
No. It would be like sleight of hand. Yeah, it's your dexterity plus your proficiency. Sleight of hand would be giving some bonus. So what's your dexterity bonus?
Well, if I have my dexterity here,
Because I think it's called expertise.
that's plus
So
3, and then sleight of hand is an 8.
no, see, sleight of hand's got something called expertise, which makes it super high
Okay.
that you've chosen. So it's your dexterity plus 2. Your proficiency bonus is 2. So
Okay.
whenever you roll this, just you're using Thieves' Tools, so plus what? Does that make it plus 5?
Yeah, plus 5.
Yeah. So remember, yours is plus 5.
Yes.
And as you go, if you can think of like a little world fact that maybe if you can think of some of your backstory that give you the extra plus 1, I might be convinced on that. Because it might be important.
Right.
Who else is in 5? Go for it.
Just question first of all, if I have a spell that is in a 15-foot cube originating from me, am I the center of the cube or the
No, you're on the
top of
edge,
cube?
yeah. So the cube has to be butted up against you. So imagine drawing a square where one of the sides has to be touching the square that you're in.
Yeah, okay, so I won't do that this time, but what I will do is run down into the corridor. So I've got to get past
Yeah, that's 1, 2, because you're going through a
2,
friend.
3, 4, so I can't get past
5, 6.
Mer.
Yeah, so you can't get past Mer.
Okay, so from there, I am just going to shoot magic missile at level 1 at yellow 1.
Okay, yellow 1, magic missile. All right. Yeah, you can pick all 3 bolts to go to the level 1. You can decide to split them now, but you can't roll them one at a time. You can decide all your targets now.
So the one that's bloodied is just yellow 1, but the white one
Yep.
underneath it is
The white one is bloodied
at
by
all.
the ice, was hit by the ice knife, but not hit by the other massive hit.
Okay.
So it's a bit of a gamble.
So
And
they're
how
both
many do you want?
bloody, but one
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
closer to
the one on
death.
top is
Okay.
much more.
I want to
yeah,
send
how it-
one to the one on top
Okay.
and the other 2 to the one.
All right. So let's roll the one on top. You're gonna roll a d4 and add 1, and hope that his hit points are low enough that it drops him.
2.
2 is not enough. He had more than 2 hit points. He is barely hanging on, but it is barely. Now roll your 2. So sorry, it was it's a d4 plus 1. So he actually lost 3 hit points. Still not enough.
That was just the one.
Oh, it was a 1. Okay, I did it right the first time. Okay, roll 2 more d4s and then add 2 to that, and that's the damage that the other one takes.
6.
Yep, so your total is 6.
That's 7.
7.
One.
Sorry,
One.
7. Yeah.
Yep, 1 each. Yeah. 5, 5, 6, 7. All right, so 7 damage on the one underneath number 1, his pair. Again, was already bloodied. More so. Pow, pow, pow. Magic missiles snake through, passing up Myrrh, and hit the thugs, but neither of them dropped. They're both very badly damaged. Next is pair number 2.
So that's just me We need to start with. So
Yeah. So remember, you want to try to do your very best to target
One.
the same thing your buddy is targeting and be in the same place your buddy is.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that
Yep.
what I have
Mhm.
to do?
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, you're
Oh no,
moving
that's
through each
me.
You can go diagonally, like, sure.
That's me there. Anyway, it's the same.
Oh, is it?
It's just
It's the same. So I can do a longbow attack,
like 30 feet.
Mm-hmm.
and I shall shoot. That's at number 1.
Okay. Longbow attack at number 1. Go
Take
for
one
it.
now. That is way more than we need. That would be like 26.
Heaps. Yes, you hit him. All right. Roll your damage. This should be enough to drop him.
4.
Only rolled a 1. With your bonus. Yes, you rolled a 1. We have a +3 thanks to your dexterity. -4. Yeah, he dies. Woohoo! Now I'm going to represent him as. So one of them is dead, but I want to basically. I guess we can do this. Okay. All right. The pair is there. Good job.
So,
Hey, for the
as
movement,
my
that's fine. You're
main
good.
gun, You've moved.
You
I've
moved. You're
moved
done.
already.
Yep.
You can't bonus
And
action.
I
Yep.
can't dash because that was my.
That's pair number 2. All done.
Yeah.
No?
Nope,
No,
that's
me.
right. You are
Got
pair
it.
number 2.
Hold on.
The X-Bear. Reason X-Bear.
So, bonus action, healing word to myself,
Okay.
which is 2 plus. Oh, sorry, hang on. I'm on the right thing. Healing word is 2 plus 3, so 5. I
Oh.
get 5 hit points.
Okay. Yeah, you can add that up later.
So
Get
I'm back
continue your
with
turn.
14.
Yep.
And then I'm going to also, for my action, wild shape into a goddamn bear again.
Oh, you get to do it twice. It's
do
the
it twice.
rebaroning.
Okay.
4 for 1.
4 for 1, and I think that's plus something. And then I'm
Yeah, I'll
going
figure
to
that out later. You're a bear again.
move around this one.
Okay, so
So
this
that-
one takes an attack of opportunity against you.
I'm the other side.
All right. Yeah, trying to get away from those pack tactics. That's smart. So
Actually, all the way over there.
that one, when it makes an attack roll when the allies within 5 feet, so it does have advantage on its attack. So that was not enough. Oh, but the second one at 23, you get bludgeoned as you go for 8. Thumped for 8 as you run, bear. Okay, now you're on this other side. That is fine, and your turn is done, I believe.
Yeah.
All right, rebaroning. Okay, pair number 3. What you gonna do?
So
85 that you gave me.
8.
I can do 30 feet speed. Is that what?
Yep, you move 6 squares. So where are you here?
I'm here, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
1. The problem is you got a lot of friends to move through. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can't really quite make it because this whole place is kind of gummed up. Unfortunately, you're all moving exactly the wrong order, so you're sort of stumbling over each
So I
other.
can't jump over them.
You
Can't
won't
go
really, but so
Unless you
much.
dashed.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
have to,
that-
so if you dash through, you can basically
that
then make
would be
it a
your
target.
action.
Yeah, so you can move 12 squares, but that's it. Apart from disabling a trap, you can move 5 more squares from there. You can try to disable a trap, but you can't do anything else. But at least you'll be in the right position.
Get out of the
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I will do it, and I'll come over
Yeah,
here.
so it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5. That might be a good one. Okay. So as you are going by, however, there are a couple opportunity attacks to get nearby. This one, because you sneak by him, he takes a free swing at you. This one, you sneak by him, he gets a free swing at you. You can stop here instead, and he won't take a swing at you, but you're kind of more in the way.
I
So
think you should just
move here and take an extra swing, or stay there.
Yeah, I'll move out of the way. So
Out of the way. Good. All right. Very
And I'll
heroic.
try disabling a trap as well.
Yeah, so I'll do that. So as you run, we'll do some attacks of opportunity. Now, he doesn't have a buddy next to him, so he does not have advantage on this swing against you, and you're a warrior. But a 19 might hit you. What's your AC? I believe your AC is less than 19.
14.
You take 3 bludgeoning damage. You get whacked with a mace. This pair, actually, I'll let you take that back because these pair do swing with advantage. There's a pair of them, so they automatically swing with advantage against you. So I advise you stop here. Otherwise, you'll take enough. So, do you want to go here, knowing that these each are going to attack you with advantage? Probably not. That would be pretty dangerous. I think you need to stop here after all. Okay. But with your bonus action, you try to disable a trap.
Yeah.
All
I have
right.
carpenter's tools, so.
Yeah, smash, that's fine. I like that. So remember I said try to talk me into a +1? Using your carpenter tools, I believe that you're just like smashing the mechanism, right? So you are, but you still need to use your smarts for it. So it's basically this intelligence, it's an intelligence check plus +3 because 1 for being an awesome idea, and 2 because you're proficient with tools. So do intelligence +3. Figure out what to smash.
I've got 0 for intelligence.
Oh, that's no show intelligence on the big column. 0. Oh, still 0. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got +0, but you got a +3. So that's okay. +3. Roll d20 +3. Smash, smash, smash.
7, so I got 10.
10, odd enough, I'm afraid. No, you smash, but you don't smash the right places. So that does not disable the trap, but you're in the right position. Who else is in pair number 3?
That would be me.
All right.
Doki.
Where are you?
Yeah, I'm the one that's still
Yep,
just
okay,
at the
sure.
door. So
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I've only got 25, so I can't even do
Okay, that's fine. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's the farthest you can move.
Oh, 25.
25. So 10
dash.
squares if you dash.
You can't
Yeah, if you
do
dash.
anything.
Okay.
Or you can stop here and then shoot from a distance. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, I'll do
Yeah, you can take an action from back here, or you can do nothing but run and get there.
I'll do Sacred Flame.
All right! Sacred Flame against what target?
Number 1.
Okay, yeah, the white number 1 there. Okay, good. I roll a dexterity saving throw. Ooh, not good enough. Do your damage against number 1 as flames consume him. What the fuck now? And the boss says, seal up that fucking corridor!
That's 3.
3, okay. This guy's already bloodied and he is now getting cooked as well, but he does not go down. You've done damage to him, however. Full damage against him, but he's staying up. All right, now it is their turn. Unless you have bonus actions or anything else. You're done? You're done, pair number 2? Okay.
I do well set.
All right. So, seal up that corridor was the order. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and tries to block you in. But this one gets opportunity attacks from you, if you want to use your reaction, which I advise you do,
Yep.
and you as well. So each of you roll a free attack.
3 attacks.
A free, it's just roll an attack. Roll an attack like a regular attack.
Just like,
This is-
okay.
Your weapon.
I rolled a
Yeah.
16.
Yeah.
Your melee weapon.
Yep, yeah, with a melee weapon. Yeah,
15.
yeah okay, great.
What's your weapon and your attack?
So I do a short sword.
Mhm, yeah.
Just 4 onto that.
Okay.
Good,
So that's
good.
19.
Good, that's a hit. What's yours?
Mine was 16.
Both a hit. Both of you roll damage, and I will be damaged. You'll damage the same one, I assume. We'll just go ahead and whittle them down.
Yep. Sword, 2 is
6.
6, all right.
+2 slashing 2.
Very good, very good.
That's 6 there. So do that twice.
Ah, good job, good helping.
4 +5 +2, so that's not 11.
11, minus 11. So why did you roll twice?
Oh, she got 2d6.
It's a great sword.
Oh, it's a great sword. Yeah, you have a huge two-hander. Yeah,
As he
yeah.
goes past him, it will shrink, and
Yeah.
as he goes past him, it will
Massive chop. Okay. That bloodies this one. So this one is now bleeding. The armor is torn off and is bleeding.
Well done.
Ah, something I didn't mention before. When this one went down, he fell to the ground and, sort of heavily damaged. There was this shower of blood that came out of his chest. That scar, something rips out from under his skin in the chest. It is a chaos shard. It's bloodied, but it's also glowing blood red. It's now glowing a color. This guy here sort of points his hand down at it, and he pulls it, and he puts it into his pocket. He has like this special little pouch on the side of his pocket, and very deftly, he stuffs it away.
Well, the chaos shard that came out of him.
The chaos shard that came out of his dead buddy, this guy is coming. He says, so the scream of pain, so the scream of pain from that dying red, the shard itself, it seemed like a little scream of pain was coming from the shard at the same time. It's like, ah! As soon as it gets covered up, as soon as he goes in there. The new possessor, puts it in there, and the new possessor, the new red, says, "You'll shut up when I have you implanted," as he puts it into his pocket. "You'll shut up when I have you implanted," he says. He taps his chest. "All of your memories, all of your experiences will be mine." Dun dun dun. Okay, that's cool. All right, so getting back to the action, this one took a lot of damage but did not go down. That's where we left it. He's bottled it up. He was able to take an action, so he's going to hit whoever's in front. And who is that little with the purple gear?
That's me.
All right, so
Chunky.
they are in a pair, so they're each hitting with advantage. So you're going to get the same treatment that the bear got. Number 1 is a 20. First blow is a 20. I'm afraid that'll hit you. You get bludgeoned for 3. The next is with advantage. You guys 2 attacks, remember. With an 18, I'm afraid that hits you. For 3.
Got out of that reasonably.
Yeah. The buddy, bottled up in this corridor is a bad way to be, so the buddy has no choice but to go after you in this pair. With a 21, you get bludgeoned for 8. Bam, 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 bam. Will you stay alive long enough to use your second wind? The 4th hit will tell us. 4th hit with advantage with that mace is a 19. You get bludgeoned for 7.
Okay.
Still up?
Yeah, I'm still
Woo! Still up! All
yeah, hit points in
right.
total, so.
That was that one. This one
rough.
here, they want to, if you're together, if your buddy were near you, he'd be splitting the attack. Who's your buddy? Where's your buddy?
My buddy has just gotten hit.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So the
Yeah.
buddy will eventually reach you, but yeah, they're not going to split the attack. Besides, you've got a pair all of your own. Going after you, Bear. And again, as 2 pairs together makes them very dangerous. Attack number 1 with the multi-attack is a 17, Bear. Imagine that hits you. You are bludgeoned for 5. Second attack on you, Bear, is a 22. Man, advantage really makes a difference. You take another 8. Are you de-bearified yet?
I am de-bearified.
You are de-bearified! Next one, with a 13. Now this is your regular AC.
Does not hit.
Ah, so
Someone does
clang, it's
14.
like thump, thump, clang, it hits your armor instead. You survive that one. Now you're lying, I don't know if you're lying down, but it doesn't matter.
No.
And the last one
So they can't be in pairs.
is a 19, I'm afraid. Man, you are hit for 8 bludgeoning damage. Woo, boy!
You down?
Down goes our druid.
8.
At 8, you are at 0. You'll be doing death saving throws in a moment. That was thug there, thug there. We have 2 remaining thugs here. This boss wants to do things. This boss uses his action to do something unusual.
Yeah, that's me. I'm not that. I think there's just one thug.
Oh yeah, that one there? Yeah.
There's one thug and then we've got one back
One
there.
back.
Because I got
Yeah, that's right. This boss here, I'm gonna start. I can do them in any order. So this boss uses one of his actions to do the following. Emerald! He saw Emerald running nearby. He says, "Bro, I've been talking to you. I know you've been talking to me. Join us, bro. These losers are going down. If you don't join me now, you are going to die with them, and you don't want to do that, bro. You want to be on the winning side." He's going to try to intimidate Emerald into converting over. I have different DCs for how hard this is. Emerald is rather easy to convert because he's been implanted, and he's got some bloodied colleagues. He's got some people going by and going down. This boss is going to roll with a +3 to intimidate and try and make a DC that is not very high because Emerald is vulnerable. This is what will bring Emerald back into the fight, but on the opposite side. Oh yeah. Emerald's like, fuck yeah, okay, yeah, no, I'm ready for this. Emerald, I'm going to say, is over here. Oh, dear. Red on red.
Wasn't there one of these two over here?
Yep, that's right. So, Emerald was sort of, they're fighting, not really getting anywhere, back over here. So, he'd run over here somewhere. Emerald is now in the fight. Woo! He is a scout. He has a bow. He's much better with a longbow. He's not quite so beefy, but he'll be an interesting one to do. So, we'll get to him in a minute. Now, we got the rest of the thugs. We have that boss used his action to do that. And now he's going to try to attack. But how is he going to attack? If he moves here, he'll take an attack of opportunity, but he thinks he'll miss. He's going to fire. He's going to fire a heavy crossbow through his friends here. So whoever is in front, I guess. No, I think we'll pick a random one here because he's already, all of you got a +2 to AC. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see who he goes for. 4. Oh, he's going to fire all the way to the back. Who's this? Me. All right. So that is, you have a +2 to your AC as he fires a heavy crossbow. They do a lot of damage, so better not hit. With a 6, it does not hit. It's too tangled, it hits the ceiling as it goes in, and the bolt shatters. That was his other action. He, I think, is going, he's like, they're like fish in a barrel, he says. He's going to stay there, not wanting to take that opportunity attack. We have one more that's going to go, so you're right, yeah, I was looking for that. This one is just going to attack, Well, it's going to stick with the pair. I think it really has only one attack, and that's against you, I believe. No, who's that?
Me.
Okay, going against you. Thump you with a mace. He does not have advantage because I'd say this boss doesn't really count as adjacent to you. With a 7, you jump out of the way as this mace crashes against the wood. And that is, this thug down here is now in play. They start moving as a pair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but isn't really able to do anything. Oh, I think Emerald is going to be able to take a shot at you. He pulls out his bow without advantage, however, and I'm going to do that. You have a +2 in your AC because this sort of corner protects you. So remember that as he fires. This is 7. Not good enough. It hits the wood next to you, and you have survived Emerald's shot. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This guy really can't do anything else. So, we'll be shooting buddies, he says. So he gets behind, he gets to the side of Emerald. He can't really get a good shot. He's going to come over here. 5, 6. Ugh, okay. I'm saying you definitely have a +2 to AC as he fires his heavy crossbow at you. With a 14?
I've got a 14.
You've got a 14. Yeah. Unfortunately for you, you take 3 piercing damage, but it hits you like a cricket ball. It's like it feels really solid. Like it luckily hit a solid part of your armor. You think it can do a lot more damage. But we're back to the top. Pair number 1.
I am going
no, top is the traps. Okay, the traps, which have not been disabled yet. Anybody doing that? That's right. No, you've been thinking you're too stuck in this corridor to disable the traps. All right. So. Trap number, so
area attacks.
The traps are going to sort of randomly hit people out
they're
here.
a bit too far for area attacks to be effective.
I disabled the trap.
Some limits too.
That's right. Yeah, nearby. Yeah. Well, you're slowly sort of shutting them down. Once you get enough successes, they will. Did you succeed at disabling the trap? No, you're banging at it, but you didn't quite roll high enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're banging at it, but you didn't roll quite high enough to disable it. So you are unfortunately a candidate. I will go ahead and do it this way. With if you're still in the corridor, there's a chance the traps won't get you. I'm going to roll twice. So pair number 1. Is that pair number 1 out here anywhere? Where's pair number 1? You're all stuck back here.
Yeah.
Okay. So pair number 1.
1 is me.
Yeah. That trap. There's no trap near you. And pair number 3. Who's number? You.
You're down.
You're down. Okay.
Oh.
So no. I rolled 3, so I'm counting the third one down. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
So she's near the trap, I'm not.
Okay. The trap that you're working on lashes out at you. You have to do a dexterity saving throw.
So, a D20?
Yep, D20. And that little box is your dexterity saving throw.
I got a 3.
Oh no.
Which one? +3 is 6.
Okay, +3 is 6. Nope, not enough. All right. You get slashed.
I sound great.
Middle amount of damage. You take 7 points of slashing damage. All right, so that was the traps. Now it's pair number 1. And of course, we're getting close to 9 o'clock. We'll be ending on a cliffhanger, obviously. Let's try to finish off this round as best we can before we shut down.
Can I take a second wind?
Yes, on your turn you may, but it has to be on your turn.
Okay.
Yeah, remember that as a bonus action. You can do second wind. Very useful for warriors to do.
Right.
Pair number 1,
Me.
in either order.
It's just me.
Oh, yes, right, yeah.
So I use Frostbite on 4.
Okay, on 4. Yep, that one's right in front of you. Sure.
And that
okay.
is a con 3 saving throw.
Okay. Ooh.
Sorry, 13. Yeah.
13. Yeah, he's got a higher than average con, I believe. Yeah, he's a beefy boy. Yep. So he makes the save. Does not work. Frostbite doesn't work on him.
Get anything?
Doesn't take anything. It's a cantrip. Yeah. So usually when we do saving throw, it doesn't do anything. Pair number 5.
You got some powerful magic to pull
out. Is that
No, that's not. Oh, sorry, you guys, yes.
Yes.
Pair number 5, in either order.
I do not have healing spells, but I'm willing to kill someone.
The best kind of healing, which is killing your enemies.
Okay. So we've worked out that they have fairly high constitution.
Chromatic orb on that bitch.
Okay, so yeah, you can do in either order. You do chromatic orb. Tell me what chromatic orb it does.
3d8, no save.
Okay, really?
Don't you
No
want to do
save.
that one?
Holy cow.
On that one?
This one's really blooded, I think.
No,
Yeah, sure.
No,
Okay,
you want
three
to,
D eight on number
you want
four.
As well, the yellow one.
Roll it.
It's just like magic. It's like, there's no save, there's just damage.
Okay, go. Roll it.
This one as well. I need one more.
What was it?
Yep. Okay. I'm not sure if it's slanted if that
That was
counts this
cool.
last
Yeah.
one.
It has to be perfectly flat. Other guys re-roll it.
Ooh. 18 damage.
18 damage kills him!
Oh!
Ooh!
No!
A burst of scorching light just shines in his eyes, like his whole face kind of caves in. It's the weirdest thing. It's almost like it warps his features. It's like, oh, it's just this weird warping magic. And he goes down, leaving his buddy behind. Ouch.
Okay.
Good job.
So I am going to cast acid arrow at his buddy.
Okay, the buddy is going to get acid arrowed.
So that is.
His buddy's going to regret walking this corridor, I think.
Scroll.
Oh, that was a spell scroll?
No,
Oh,
but I do have
Ah,
a
sure.
few. So
Alright.
Okay, so it is a ranged spell attack.
Go, yeah. So you're firing through some friends, I believe?
He has full HP.
So he's got a +2 on his AC as a result of firing through friends.
The hit points is 18.
So that's an 18.
Okay, an 18 hits him for sure. Do
Okay.
damage. And this is to number 4.
4d4 acid damage.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it plus anything else or just that? Just a dice roll?
I think there's ongoing damage too.
Ongoing, yeah.
Yeah, it sizzles for a while.
Ooh, okay, so that's 6.
Okay, 6 down. Yep.
And then. Yep. And it's next turn.
Okay, so
I
remember
roll
that on
again.
your next turn. Okay.
So in 3 turns you can kill him.
Yeah, so that was pair number 5. Pair number 2.
Well done.
Oh, what? Remember bonus actions if you're in the room. You can use bonus actions, but I don't think we've covered that yet.
I'm going to disarm the trap.
Yeah, please remember, because I do forget. So yeah, you didn't do your bonus action with anything else. Try to disarm the trap. This is with your thieves' tools. Remember all the bonuses you had. Go for it.
7.
Huh?
7.
7. No, a 7 is not enough. You try the best to take it apart, but this one is this is not your day on that roll.
No.
If a day pass up anybody else, make sure you use your bonus actions to disable the traps. You can tell they're dangerous. Pair number 2.
Okay, that's me. So first one's going to take my second wind, which is terribly rolled. But anyway, 2 + 3 is 5.
Yeah.
So
Oh, fire up! Bonus action.
okay. Then I will drop my longbow and pull out my longsword. Can I, in the same turn, put my shield on and my longsword? And
If you had your longbow out, no. So there's something called quick draw where you would. It's a feat, and because it's a feat, I can't give it to you for free. You can take out just your sword. Next turn, you can also take out your shield. It's called an item interaction.
okay. What if I use my action surge?
Yeah, I'd say
Can
so.
I do that and attack?
Yeah, I'd say so. Sure. Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to attack 4 with my longsword.
Yeah, exactly. By the time the whole thing is done, you'll have your shield out because you're using 2 actions. That sounds fair to me.
All right. 17 + 4 is 21.
Woo! 21. Do your damage. And which number are you attacking here?
5 + 2 is 7. On number 4.
All right, 7. All right, chop, chop, chop. He's not bloodied yet. He's you're just started working on him, but you're working now. And you get to, but your action surge, you get 2 attacks. So your action surge is you don't have to waste your action surge just to get an item out.
Oh,
You can use
okay.
your action
Another
surge to
attack,
also
so I
attack,
roll.
yeah.
So I roll to
Yeah,
attack.
because they have 2 actions. I gave you 2 item interactions. It
Okay,
seems
so
fair.
that is 14.
14 hits. These guys are actually relatively easy to hit. They're almost unarmored and they're not very fast
And
moving.
10 points of damage.
10 points of damage. You sort of see tactically, you get a feel for some monsters have lots of hit points, but they're easy to hit. Some have very high armor. Some have very high saving throws. You can get a feel for different attacks. Of course, you use different formulas at different situations. So that's part of the tactics. You're figuring it out.
Okay.
He is bloodied, but he does not die. He takes a big chunk out, but he is bloodied more than halfway through.
Alright.
That was pair number 2. Is pair number 2 all done?
No.
Okay, pair number 2. Oh, yes, you!
Mm-hmm.
That's saving throw.
18.
Okay, so death saving throws, as you recall, you have to stack. Once you stack up 3 successes, you're unconscious but stable until you get healed. So you can mark them over there. But in any order. Now, as you are, disable. Do you have a follower? No, you're not. Nobody has a follower. This is where a follower will sometimes come and try to rescue you, so try to stabilize you, but you do not have a follower yet. Okay, that was you. Next is pair number 3. This might be the last move before we break. Taking
I'm
a
going
break
to take
before I stump you
my
with more
second
thugs.
wind as well.
Good job. Yes, bonus action for second
Yeah.
wind.
So that is a D10.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a 1.
Ah, you get to add your level. So you get to add 2 to that, I believe.
Just your level.
Yeah, your total
Oh, yeah,
character
two,
level.
yeah, yeah,
Yep,
three,
level two.
so three.
Yep, so you get 3 hit points back.
Yeah.
Nothing to sneeze at, that's alright.
And then I am going to take my longbow and I'm going to shoot at this white guy.
This one here?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, good idea. So that's fine. He just has a +2 to his AC because of this corner.
Or should I shoot at the boss? Can I? Because I know.
I would
that's
shoot
what
at the boss, then we just want to kill him.
Okay.
So it's her decision. So if you went and did the boss, you could move into position, and you could wear down the boss. You'd move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You'd get opportunity attacked by them. It's kind of hard to hit the boss. You could go here, get in danger here, but then you'd have a shot at the boss. Or you could stay here and shoot at this one. It's your choice.
Yeah, I might shoot at him just to get him out
This
of the
one?
way.
Yeah, okay, good. So he has a +2 to his AC, but it's very hard to avoid cover. Roll your bow attack, which you're very good at.
That's fine.
Would that be? Do you think that would be better to do? Oh, sorry.
Oh, no.
I'm hopeless.
A 1! Oh, it's not you, it's the dice. It's bad
and
luck.
then I've got my longbow set to +7. So
I know, but a 1 is always a miss. A 20 is always a hit. A 1 is always a miss. But even if it weren't always a miss, if it were 2, even if you rolled a 2,
You
you'd
do
miss.
have an action surge, which you don't have to use.
Yes, an action surge used
So
once
it's like
per
an
short
extra
rest.
turn.
Yeah, you get a whole extra turn just like Archie did.
Extra attack. You only
Okay,
get
so-
rid of
So
it's up to you.
Alright, maybe I use it again.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So, whoop, not good enough. Do it
I'll go
again. All right, here we go. Another D20. Hoping for better.
Oh,
God! Oh,
That's usually a good shot.
That is super
You were
rough.
following the arrow as you pulled it out of your quiver.
usually, like, it's really bad luck. It's like, something like, if you roll 1 or 20, it's like, it's luck that really turns it. So you fire, like, one of the sort of, like, trap chains that sort of swing, like, ting, it, like, hits your arrows. You go, but what are the odds of that? You fire, like, another sort of blade goes, like, ting. That's like, fuck. It's like the very, very bad odds. Oh, well, that's how it goes. Okay. Is there another pair 3? Yeah.
So 5, 10, 15, 25, would I be able to get into that count?
Sorry, where are you?
The one at the very back.
Three back? Okay.
What gap?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to be able to get there.
Yeah.
Okay. Rah! You run through. But that's all you can do. But you can do bonus action.
Is that 30 feet?
Oh, yeah, that's less than 30 feet.
Is it only bonus action I can do now? Or
Well, yeah, use your action. So use dash to get through all of your friends. These all count as 2 squares.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you had to dash to get there. Or, again, you can stay back here. You're all bottled up.
Can
Coming
you
into the fight
dash
late like
through
this
the
is a real bit.
Can you dash through enemies? Why doesn't everybody else?
Oh, yeah, no, you can't dash through enemies. That one. Yeah. Nope, you have no choice but to fight from where you are.
okay.
Ooh, stuck in the corridor. It's almost like
See, I don't mind
landless
being stuck in a
defense.
corridor with someone in
It's
front
not
of
going well with Spider.
with someone in front of
Well,
me.
yeah, like starting off
Okay.
split up and
No.
bottled up like this. Ooh, it's a bad start.
It looks bad, but really it's not. Like we've got 3 people in the fight. We've got less than half of our people in the fight.
Good attitude.
So,
Go for
so
it.
I got
It's not that bad.
Yes, the
Warhammer,
spirit.
I got my axe, so I'll just have to use Sacred Flame then.
Sure, yeah, okay. So
Okay.
this one does this one I presume, the one that's blocking everybody up. Ooh, he saves!
Oh
He
my God.
jumps out of the way. Ah, the dice. All right. Well, we will stop there because that's that's the end of pair 3, yeah? The end of pair 3?
Yeah.
Okay. It'll be the thugs next. Oh, my. I'll put in that note. Thugs
I
next.
think
I'll
if we
take a
can kill
picture
the
of
whites,
this.
will be.
Please remember what your chip was. If it's not your regular chip, I'll only be taking a picture, and I won't remember who's who. So make sure you know what your chip looks like as I take this picture. I'll reconstruct it in 2 weeks. Come on back.
If you've got a
Finish
forward
these
plan
dudes
there,
off.
Matthew.
I think we can get them.
I always
Oh yeah,
read
this
the
is
plan.
going to be an easy fight.
Yeah.
Like once we're all in there, it will be like a relatively easy fight.
Yeah. No, I
But
think
like,
I
we're
think
crowded.
individually. I mean, yeah, there's pretty bad luck, good luck. Remember, advantage is really great. So splitting up those pairs is very important. I can give you advice now that I'm not in war game.
Well, yeah, I figured
So
that out.
yeah, split out pairs because
Yeah.
advantage is a real mofo when it comes to these things. But the main thing is just how the fight started. You'll hear a phrase over and over again in RPGs. It's best to learn it firsthand. Then for me to give that advice is never split the party. Because you had a door. Also, when you decided to you decided to not all bum rush in. you split the party, right? So the door is shut, we're separated, and even if your roll had gone well, even if you hadn't lost a round, you would still be in trouble because you have the fight's already started in here, and all of you are on the other side of a narrow corridor. You get all this problem. So yeah, it's just one of those maxims of RPGs. It's always good to learn it the hard way. We've all made that mistake as RPG players, splitting the party in a case like this. Oh, so we're going to stop there. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you everybody for playing.